When it started, it was simple, just a lawsuit for damages. But before it was over, it was far from simple, and the damages were murder. All because of a red-headed woman, a ghostwriter with ambition, and a match that burned with a bright green flame.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Green Flame.
It had been the kind of early start, late finish, crowded in between day that had made breakfast coffee, lunch a ham sandwich on the run, and dinner nothing. So by the time it finally ended, it was pushing 9 o'clock. And I was both a little tired and a lot hungry. All of which made the feast I could imagine spread out in front of me over an emerald green tablecloth something better than good enough to eat. Blue Point oysters on a half shell, a Caesar salad, veal scallopini topped with mushrooms the size of silver dollars. Oh, I was ready for it. Yes, well, the oysters once again became a blue ashtray. The scallopini a notebook. The green cloth underneath all... my desk blotter. Hello, Marlowe speaking.
Dodie Whitmore, Marlowe. Ever hear of me?
I have. I've also heard you own half a dozen screen magazines, a local radio station, and a daily published for the motion picture industry called the Hollywood Trades. Does that cover it?
Not quite. Today I acquired something else. A libel suit for $100,000 that was just slapped against the trades by a has-been actor named Bradford Colby, which, Marlowe, is the reason I'm calling you.
Oh?
So drop whatever you're doing, boy, and get over here to the Whitmore building.
Whitmore building?
We're on El Centro near Gower, and closed. Tomorrow's Sunday, no addition.
Figures.
When the night watchman lets you in, turn left, keep walking till you get to an office numbered 116. You got that?
Yeah, 116. But if you don't mind, Miss Whitmore, I'd like to do something. I'd like to eat first.
Make it coffee and a ham sandwich at the outside and get over here fast.
Coffee? Look, Miss Whitmore, I'm starving.
Marlowe, how much do you get a day?
25 in expenses. Why?
I'm willing to pay 125, and you keep track of the expenses. Now what do you say, boy?
Boy says coffee and a ham sandwich will leave him stuffed. Goodbye, Miss Whitmore.
Come in, Marlowe. Sit down over here, and if you smoke cigars, don't. I can't stand them. Drink?
No, thanks.
Marlowe, our A1 gossip columnist, Stanley McGrath, had this to say in today's edition of The Trade.
Mm-hmm.
The sometimes actor Bradford Colby won't call it quits. When refused a part by an independent producer who's short on funds, Colby offered to hawk all and come up with $20,000 if the producer would change his mind. The producer wouldn't. End of quote.
And beginning of noise from Colby, huh?
Yes, the clamor that we can only silence by proving that McGrath, what he said, is true. Which shouldn't be impossible because Max was a thorough man and never heard of the word rumor.
Wait a minute. What do you mean was a thorough man?
He died of a stroke, Marlowe, at 5 this morning en route to the hospital, age 61. His column, as usual, arrived here yesterday afternoon in the mail. He always wrote from his home, which is a junk-filled cracker box up on North Brunson.
And now you're being sued by Colby for damages, huh? The late Mr. McGrath isn't around to prove what he said is true.
You catch. And being very unpopular with producers myself these past 30 years, Marlowe, I've no chance of any help from the one who actually turned Colby down for that part, whoever he is.
All of which makes my job what?
Precisely this. Find Mac's source of information. Come in, Larry. Larry North, Marlowe. My editor and anybody's Napoleon. Larry, meet Mr. Marlowe.
How do you do?
How do you...
Dodie, I've just found out that old Mac's only legman, a queer duck named Leonard Phipps, left town sometime yesterday for San Diego. May or may not be back by now. Where's Marlowe going to start?
Well, I
At
figured...
old Mac's place. Larry and I have already checked there, Marlowe. 8312 North Bronson. Maybe you'll grab onto something that we overlooked. Here's the key.
Thanks.
Mac lived alone. Don't get wrapped up in his notes. They're gibberish. And remember, my lawyers are sure that we lose this case if we can't prove what Mac said was the truth.
Well, yeah,
Call as soon as you get a lead, and if I'm out, Larry will be in his office next door. And, Marlowe, don't waste any time. There's a lot at stake, boy.
What Dodie Whitmer had labeled a cracker box turned out to be a 5-room, slightly beat-down, almost square house set back some 50 carelessly landscaped feet. from a high stucco wall that said the late Mr. McGrath had lived alone and liked it. And when I entered and went to his study where I turned on a desk lamp, I saw what my client had meant by junk. There were the odds and ends that a man collects in a lifetime. On his desk, a tarnished loving cup for excellence in reporting, dated 1927. Beyond that, on the mantel, an autographed picture of Teddy Roosevelt, and next to it, a paperweight from Niagara Falls. And then an item I hadn't expected. In a shadowed corner of the room, there was somebody else. A tall, gaunt somebody else, wearing horn-rimmed glasses and papers sticking out of every pocket. He was slowly, an inch at a time, backing off from the edge of the circle of light in which I stood. I took one casual step toward the desk and then nailed him.
Get your hands off me.
Why? So you can start running, Mr. Leonard Phipps?
How do you know my name?
I'm psychic. I also know you just got back from San Diego. What I don't know is what you're doing here. Now, come on. Talk, fast.
Please let go. Leave me alone. I'll talk. I've got nothing to hide from the right party. Who are you?
Philip Marlowe, private detective, was working for Dodie Whitmer, a lady impatient to know which producer McGrath was talking about. In that article on Colby this morning. Now, do I qualify?
Yes. Of course, we're both after the same piece of information, Mr. Marlowe.
No?
I want to find that answer, too, and then whisper it into Dodie's ear.
Just to save her $100,000?
No. Just to get a chance to fill McGrath's shoes. And don't laugh, because I've been ghosting that column for the past month now.
Didn't McGrath write this morning's column himself?
No, he didn't. I did. But the piece on Colby was not mine. McGrath must have added that himself, the fool.
Well, you don't sound like you're happy in your work, Phipps.
I wasn't. Mac was a tyrant. I put up with him because he promised sooner or later to let Dodie Whitmer know that I was doing his work.
Don't be too bitter, Phipps. Mac couldn't have known exactly when he was going to die.
Well, what if he
But
could?
to get back to the subject, have you any idea where we can get a hold of something real to go on?
Yes. Yes, I do. Out there in the living room.
Yeah.
Follow me, Marlowe. If you can, in the dark.
Come back here.
Ow! Ooh.
By the time I got to my feet, Phipps was gone. I found another lamp in the dark, turned it on, and started for the telephone. But then I stopped. In the center of the floor, where it must have fallen when the leg man made his wild break, was a wrinkled piece of paper. When I picked it up and turned it over, I was suddenly glad that Mr. Phipps had gotten away because, in his hurry to leave, he had dropped his checkoff list for Operation Bradford Colby. There were a half a dozen producers crossed off above the notation Mac's Place, but below that, and not yet discounted, was a name I'd never heard before, Sherry Sheldon. At that, I called Dodie Whitmer, gave her a quick rundown on what had happened with Phipps, and then tossed the name Sherry Sheldon in. She talked it over with Larry North before she answered. But when she did, I knew that finally we were all getting someplace.
Marlowe, this is good. Larry tells me that Sherry Sheldon is the ex-Mrs. Bradford Colby.
Oh?
And better than that, a redhead with temperament to match. That kind'll talk.
Mm-hmm. Any idea where this item lives?
Yes, a bungalow on Cherimoya, 5800.
5800, huh?
Larry says it's a quiet, dead-end street, but not to let that throw you. Because from what he's heard about the lady herself, she's very much alive. So play it smart, boy. You're probably in the big time now. Good luck.
It's only a furlong plus the bungalow on Cherimoya, so when I pulled up and parked away from number 5800, I was still wondering exactly what play it smart, boy meant. When the lady in question was known far and wide as a shock of red hair capping so much dynamite. But a minute later, as I walked toward the house, I labeled that thought introspection, dismissed it, and concentrated instead on an acre of tweed jacket that was unfolding out of a long, honey-colored sedan, parked a little ahead of me. When it straightened up to something over 6.5 feet, slammed the car door shut, and stomped inch-thick soled brogans off in a king-sized huff, I knew that this was an angry man. And in the next second, I knew that it and the thespian Bradford Colby were one and the same. When Colby got to Sherry's doorbell and jabbed at it impatiently for attention, I ducked below a hedge nearby. When the door opened and then slammed shut again, I left the hedge in favor of an on-the-bias palm tree that bowed toward Milady's chamber, where I could both see and hear what had to be an exciting reunion.
You said that you knew something that couldn't fail to intrigue me on this of all days. So now that I'm here, start intriguing, Sherry, darling.
All right. How's this for a starter? I want, to the penny, exactly 1/2 of the money you're going to get from Dodie Whitmer.
Oh, Sherry, how droll. Now, why in the name of the great American dollar do you think I'd give you so much as a sly glance at that delightful little fund?
For 2 reasons. The first, I deserve it for putting up with both you and your abominable conceit for exactly 1 year.
Still droll, darling.
Go on, keep laughing, Mr. Colby. Keep laughing while I light my cigarette with one of these matches, these cute ones that burn with a green flame.
Where did you get those?
In a little known lodge out beyond Malibu called the Green Flame. Don't you remember, darling? I ran into you there one day last week when you were having lunch with a mysterious stranger whom you tried to keep me from seeing.
You nasty little sneak, Sherry.
When you were so engrossed in keeping yourself between me and your guest that you left the souvenir book of matches at the bar after you graciously lit my cigarette for me.
And what of it? They give those matches out by the thousands.
That they do, but, Brad, dear, they all don't have numbers penciled on the inside.
Numbers? What numbers are you talking about?
Now who's being droll?
What are you getting at, Sherry?
This. I had a call a minute before I got in touch with you from a delightful gentleman who's very interested in what I'm getting at. So here, take your stupid book of matches and get out.
No.
I don't need them anymore.
No, wait, Sherry, now please.
Brad, I am going to have exactly 1/2 of that easy money that's coming your way. And after the gentleman I mentioned and I get together, I may want more. So don't say anything you'll be sorry for later on.
Oh,
Just
Sherry.
get out now. And don't come back until I send for you. Dear Brad.
It was the better part of a minute before Colby, the actor, quit running the gamut of theatrical expressions indexed onto hate, and Colby, the man, stopped biting down hard on his lower lip. Then, without another word, he slammed out of his apartment, ran to his car, and started off. I waited long enough for the steam in the room to condense, and then I walked to the front door and rang the bell delicately, the way I imagined a delightful gentleman like Mr. Leonard Phipps might.
Yes? Can I help you?
I think so, Miss Sheldon. It's only a matter of a simple question. Did you give that Brad Colby story to McGrath yesterday?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Why, Leonard Phipps, of course. I talked to you on the phone, remember?
Oh, yes. It was only half an hour ago, Mr. Phipps, and yet in those 30 minutes, it's surprising how your voice has gone from tenor right down to bass. Good night, Dad.
Not so fast, baby. It's out on my shoe shine.
All right. Come in. I'll tell you what you want to know. I did give that story to McGrath. I did it for revenge. I hate Colby.
Uh-huh. And when your revenge boomeranged and the X came out 100,000 ahead of you, you decided to cut back in. Is that it?
Yeah, Wait a minute. You've been listening. How else would you know all this about Brad and me?
Same way I know you're a liar about giving McGrath that story. Your in, honey, is strictly something different, like a book of matches that burn with a green flame, an accidental meeting at the lodge of the same name. Let's take it from there. Huh?
Yes, why don't you? Right outside, where both you and it belong. Good night, mister.
Marlowe, Philip Marlowe, Sherry. But tell me, why the hurry? Anxious to powder your nose before Mr. Phipps arrives?
Frankly, Philip, I'm anxious to do just about anything that doesn't involve talking to... What is it?
Somebody's hit. Come on. He's over there near the curb.
The car didn't stop, Marlowe.
No, and that scream sounded pretty bad.
Oh, he's dead, isn't he, Marlowe?
Yeah. That can mean only one thing to you, baby.
To me? Why, who is it?
Your late date, Sherry. One Mr. Leonard Phipps.
In just a moment, the second act of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, on the special program, One Great Hour, later tonight on CBS, President Harry S. Truman will be joined by Gregory Peck, Ila Lupino, and Quentin Reynolds to tell the story of what American religious groups are doing to bring relief to the world's war-stricken people. Be sure to hear One Great Hour tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over most of these same CBS network stations. Now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Green Flame.
As the red-haired, sophisticated eyes stared down at what seconds ago had been Leonard Phipps, the sound of the powerful car that had slammed the life out of him whirred into silence far down the street. All that was left of Stanley McGrath's overambitious leg man was a twisted, broken scarecrow, sprawled over the curb and half up on the sidewalk. It wasn't pretty. And the sight of it cracked Sherry's self-assurance like a rock through a window pane. When she stopped pressing the knuckles of one hand against her mouth and looked at me, she was scared. Clear through.
Marlowe, this horrible thing, it was an accident, wasn't it?
Oh, sure. About as accidental as if they'd use a sledgehammer on him. Oh, yes. You only wish it was an accident because you're next in line and you know it. Remember, he was on his way to see you when this happened to him.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, it's a high-priced game, baby, and they're playing for keeps. So you better level with me and fast. What's so important about those green matches?
I don't know.
You're a liar. You're going to wind up looking like Phipps here before the sun comes up.
No,
And
stop
tell me
it.
the
No,
truth,
I
you
don't-
little fool. Come on.
I am, I swear. Phipps called me because he thought I might have given McGrath that story on Brad, but I didn't.
And why was Phipps still interested? Why did he want to talk to you?
Because I told him I'd seen Brad with someone at the Green Flame last week, and that Brad was very upset when he found me there.
All right, who is he with?
I don't know.
That's not the impression you gave your ex-husband, beautiful.
I was swinging in the dark, Marlowe. 5 people left the Green Flame at the same time. I couldn't tell which one had been with Brad, but I'd know them if I saw them again, and Phipps thought that together we could figure out who it was.
Go on. What about the numbers in that book of green matches? What were they?
811.
811?
Yes.
What does that fit, a hotel room?
Well, I don't know that either.
You mean it was just another swing in the dark?
Yes, but it connected, Marlowe. It scared him when I mentioned it, so it must be important.
Yeah? Take another look at Phipps, baby. See how important it is. Now try again, real hard. Remember what 811 means.
Marlowe, I just don't know. Please believe me.
Maybe you're just thick. Maybe you got too much nerve, but I'll tell you one thing, Sherry. I wouldn't be in your spot for 10 times $100,000 because I don't think you're going to live until morning.
Oh, I didn't think that Brad would go this far. What I've told you is the truth.
Wait a minute. Shut up. Somebody's coming. It might be Bradford. Now you get out of here.
Well, how? I don't have my car.
Take mine, that coupe. Here are the keys. Go down to the office of the Hollywood Trades. He won't show his face around there. Find Larry North or Doty.
Well, all right, but what about
Go
you?
on, will you? Beat it.
I stepped into the shadows of the trees that bordered the walk and waited. I heard Sherry slam the door on my car and burn $5 worth of rubber off my new fist tires getting away. A second later, the visitor I was expecting showed up, but it wasn't Brad Colby. It was Larry North. He ran 3 bustling steps out into the street and watched my coupe scoot out of sight. Then he spotted the corpse. His mouth fell open and he tiptoed slowly toward it like he was afraid he might wake it up. When I moved out into the light, he saw me and turned.
Marlowe! Do you know about this? Who is it?
It's Leonard Phipps.
Phipps? McGrath's leg man?
Yeah. Driver didn't so much as look back.
What a stinking break. Phipps in a hit-and-run accident at a time like this.
Look, you jump to your conclusions, North, and I'll jump to mine.
Eh? What do you mean?
Phipps knew something fishy about that item in McGrath's column. And Sherry Sheldon knew something fishy about Colby. So from where I stand, Colby couldn't afford to let them get together.
No accident? That's a daring observation, Marlowe.
For $100,000, I know plenty of guys who do a thing like this every day in the week. You can buy a lot of distance with that kind of money.
Hey, you're right, of course. What exactly does the Sheldon girl know? Did you find out?
Only partly. Bradford's mixed up with someone else on this deal. Sherry doesn't know who, but if we can get the other tie-in, she'll be able to identify that person on sight.
Yeah. Well, did she have anything else?
Number 811 in a book of matches. Mean anything?
811? No.
Hey, come on, North. Quit staring at him. You're making yourself sick. Let's get out of here.
Yes, all right. Well, I guess I better. Bradford Colby must be out of his mind.
Maybe. I'll let you know. I'm going to drop in on him now before the cops do and check my theory over with him. Where does he live?
Yeah, on Wilcox, a villa in the Midcliff Gardens. Marlowe, I'm going in and talk to Sherry. Maybe I can find out who Colby's working with.
She's not here. I sent her down to the paper in my car to stay with you or Doty until things cool off.
Yes, but Doty isn't there. She went out for some reason right after you called. There's no one there now but the night watchman.
Oh, great. Now, look. Drop me off at Colby's place, and you get down there and find Sherry. She's worth $100,000 to Doty Whitmer, but only if she lives. Now, let's go. While the natty little Napoleon in an elevator scurried off to fetch his car, I ran inside. Put a fast call through to the police and submitted the shortest report on record of a hit-and-run death. By the time I got back, North was waiting at the curb with the door open. I piled in beside him, and 10 minutes later we glided to a stealthy stop on Wilcox at the ivy-covered archway over the Midcliff Garden gate. Neat slices of amber light poured through a big Venetian blind on the window of a villa at the rear of the court, which North identified as Colby's. And in the same breath reminded me that the actor was a strapping 6'6" and a desperate man. He urged me to be careful, and I urged him to hurry, and as he left, I walked toward the big window and saw Bradford inside, slumped deep in the lap of a suede easy chair, doing a solo with a bottle of Paul Masson champagne, and looking about as desperate as a sleepy St. Bernard. I walked around to the front door, decided to try the shock treatment to blast him out of his blasé attitude.
Yes, what do you want?
Get inside. Go on, move.
What is it? Take your hands off me.
You might have gotten away with that trumped-up suit for damages, Colby, but you're not going to get away with murder. You killed Leonard Phipps, didn't you?
What are you raving about? Who's Leonard Phipps and who are you?
Name's Marlowe, and I'll tell you something, Colby. The only reason I'm not busy knocking your head off at this minute is because I want to hear the whole story right from the top. Now, first, who wrote that item in McGrath's column for
Are you mad? McGrath wrote it himself, the venomous little creature. He and Dodie Whitmer used that to damage my reputation, and now they're going to pay for it.
Oh, stop it. You knocked your reputation into a cock's head every time you step in front of a camera.
Well,
Your damage suit's a phony, and you know it. Now, where's that book of matches with the famous 811 inside?
811?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Those that burn with a green flame.
Yeah,
You've been talking with my imaginative ex-wife, I see. She's burning with quite a green flame herself, isn't she? How that woman hates to see me get ahead.
Never mind. Where is it?
If you'll allow me, Marlowe, I'll just answer this. Bradford Colby speaking. I see. Yes, I heard. That's right. Well, I'll do my best, darling. At least 10. Now, goodbye, Helen. Just an old friend, Marlowe. You can let your eyebrow down again.
Helen, huh? You know, you always were a lousy actor. I'm getting a little sick of you, Colby. And I've got a hunch I'm due for quite a stall, so start talking, huh? Where's that book of matches?
Easy, Marlowe. Take it easy. Here it is.
Come on, let's see it.
Of course. Here, take a good look. Oh!
What a character. Up to your chin in trouble and you make waves.
Lousy snoop. Oh! Yeah, that does it. Tough guy. You're not leaving, Marlowe. You're staying right here. And just to make sure...
No, you don't, Colby.
Oh!
You sucker. Should have loosened your corset. I waded through the chunks of glazed ceramics that Colby had smashed on my head and worked hard to hold back the wave of darkness that kept rising up under me until I made it to the kitchen, where I splashed a few quarts of cold water on my face. And then I went back. Colby was still holding down the hooked rug he landed on, and the book of matches that had started the argument was on the floor beside him. I picked it up and opened it. The number was there, inside, written in blue wax pencil. But I thought I'd made a mistake. Until I realized that maybe Sherry Sheldon had made the mistake. When that idea hit me, it brought another one along, and I remembered that Colby had received orders by phone to delay me.
Oh, my...
Then I knew I'd better hang onto my head and move, but fast. I rolled him over and found the keys to his car. And was halfway out the door when he came to.
Stop. Come back. You can't leave here.
It's my exit, not yours, ham-bone. Good night. It took all of 5 minutes to get from Wilcox to El Centro in Colby's long, honey-colored sedan. And on a hunch, I drove down the alley to the back door of the Whitmer building. The hunch paid off. Because I had stopped and turned on the parking lights when the door opened and I saw exactly what I'd expected. The watchman was on the floor out cold, and the little Napoleon in elevated shoes was staging a big exodus with his arms full of a very limp redhead named Sherry Sheldon. As soon as he saw the honey-colored car, he started talking.
Brad, you idiot. I told you to stay home.
Did you do it?
No, she's only unconscious. There wasn't time. We'll have to finish it someplace else.
Put her in the back seat.
All right. Here. Now, let's get out. Marlowe.
Don't move, little man. I'm too tired for any more trouble. I'll shoot first. So you're the boy on the inside with all the brains, huh? You cooked this whole thing up with Colby. He gets libeled and sues Dodie Whitmer for damages, and then you two split the settlement between you. Correct me if I'm wrong, North. You got your chance when McGrath died after turning in his copy. All you had to do was write that one libelous item, include it in McGrath's column, and nobody could ever explain where the story had come from.
That stupid fool, Bradford. I could never trust him to do anything right.
Is that why you killed Phipps?
Yes. And if Brad Colby had held on to you for another 5 minutes, I would have had time to get out of here.
Yes, and so would I.
Sherry, are you all right?
No, not yet.
Hey!
No.
Oh.
Where he and Brad are going, Marlowe, I'd never get another chance to even the score.
Oh, baby. You handle a spiked heel like Babe Ruth handled a bat. He's out.
Yeah, but Phil, you should see what he hit me with. Oh, brother.
Come on, beautiful. It's time to turn out the lights, get in touch with Dodie, and call the law. Let's go.
Well, let's go, Sergeant.
Yes, Inspector. Thank you, Miss Whitmore.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, I'm glad those cops and their cigars are gone. Here, kids, help yourselves. You both look like you need it.
This you can say again.
And how I need it.
Marlowe, you could have slid me through the hole in a lifesaver when you said my own editor, Larry Knopf, was it.
Yeah, it gave me a jolt, too, Dodie.
Yeah, and me. The hard way. But, Phil, I am sorry about that mistake I made. I could have saved us some trouble.
What mistake is this?
Well, you see, honey, we knew that whoever was working with Colby had written down a number for him in a book of matches. Sherry here thought it was 811. But when I saw it, it was upside down from that, so it came out 118.
118?
Mm-hmm.
Why, that's Larry's office number and phone extension.
Check. Yours is 116, and his was right next door. I remembered. So 118 was it. That, coupled with the fact that it was written in blue pencil, which is standard equipment for all editors, gave me the tip.
Honest now, Phil. Did you figure that out, or was it luck?
Well, it's a trade secret. Hey, you know something? I missed dinner tonight. You know I'm starving?
Well, I know a wonderful place.
Uh-huh.
They have matches like this, see? It burns with a green flame. Will you join us, Dodie?
Yes, we would love to have you.
You'd rather have whooping cough. Go on, you. Get out of here and good night.
Good night, Dodie.
Oh, and it will be from here on in. I guarantee it.
A wonderful supper was waiting for us at the Green Flame restaurant. It was all arranged by a call from Dodie. And it waited until it got cold because we didn't show up to eat it. There was something about the moonlight glinting on the ocean and a certain stillness in the morning air that made food seem somehow unimportant. So when I finally dropped Sherry off at her place on Cherimoya, went home to my apartment on Franklin, it was either very late or very early, depending on the viewpoint. There was just one lonely sardine and a cold baked potato in the refrigerator. So I ate. Then I sat down on my bed to light my last cigarette. But I wasn't disappointed when the match flared into an ordinary yellow flame.
Good night, Phil.
Happy Marlowe.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, star Gerald Mohr, and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Fay Baker, Larry Dobkin, Myra Marsh, Howard McNear, and Parley Bear. The special music is by Richard O'Runt. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
It was a grim joke that started when 6 heirs came to an ugly house on a rain-swept island to hear a madman's will. But the joke soon turned to murder, and in the end it was hard to tell who had the last laugh.
Tomorrow night, Helen Hayes stars in the famous comedy The Farmer Takes a Wife on CBS's Electric Theater. And Eve Arden stars as America's favorite schoolmistress, our Miss Brooks. You'll delight in the expert comedy of these two great feminine stars when the Electric Theater and our Miss Brooks come your way tomorrow night over most of these same CBS network stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
They were born at the same hour on the same day of the same parents, and they were identical in beauty and talent. Only one was deadly, but the other was not. And I couldn't tell which was which until I found a green purse, a fresh corpse, and a pair of dancing hands.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Dancing Hands.
The telegram I found stuck in the mail slot when I got back to my office after a long and roundabout day read. Enclosed, find a $50 money order. I want you to investigate a man. A table is reserved for you at the Saddle Club where I work. Come in time for the second show at 11, important. It was signed Beth Tyler. So at 11:15, with $50 worth of inspiration behind me, I drove over the Cahuenga Freeway and out Ventura to the Saddle Club, which pretended to be Old English by showing its beams through a flagstone facade. I went in the carefully rough-hewn oak door, and even before my eyes became adjusted to the cozy lack of candle power inside, Neil Redmond, owner and operator of the place, glided toward me, sporting his genial host smile, which tonight was even more forced than usual.
How are you, Marlowe? It's been a long time. Business a pleasure, Phil.
It's always a pleasure to come to the Saddle Club, Neil. I've even got a reservation.
You know my food better than that, Marlowe.
Uh-huh.
Just don't let it get rough, will you? Come on, I'll find your table out front. I want you to see this show. A pair of twins in a twin piano act that's sensational.
Yeah?
Edie and Beth Tyler. Oh, here, how's this?
Fine.
Incidentally, Edie will be the one on the left.
Well, if they're twins, what's the difference?
Plenty. Edie may be Mrs. Redmond one of these days.
Oh.
Redmond, but you are wanted on the phone, sir.
Get the number, George, and I'll call back.
This gentleman said you would talk to him, sir. It is Mr. Paul Cedar.
All set. Oh, yeah. Excuse me, Marlowe. This is important. I better take it.
Redmond reacted to the name Cedar like a punch in the nose. But I figured that was none of my business, which was more than I could say for a flabby, dough-faced character at the next table, who followed the nightclub owner all the way out of the room with a pair of watery red eyes, which he deliberately avoided turning in my direction. But at that point, an MC stepped out on the stage, and so I stopped worrying about Flabby in favor of the first look at my client.
The Saddle Club is proud to present its second show of the evening, featuring the incomparable piano stylists Edie and Beth in Dancing Hands. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Bring them out.
The curtains parted on the stage, set with an oversized full-length mirror, which reflected a grand piano, a black vase of yellow flowers, and a tall brunette with a wry, crisp waistline, who touched up a piled-high hairdo, put on a pair of long black gloves, checked her hemline, and sat down at the piano. And she ran through an involved arpeggio while her reflection in the mirror looked on in admiration. It was an old but cute routine, and the illusion was perfect because the Tyler twins were practically identical. I took another look at Flabby, whose face was pushed up in a nasty leer. He stood up, dropped his cigarette into his drink, and tossed a crumpled bill down on the table, just as the lights went out for the trick part of the act. On the dark stage, two pairs of purple hands danced over two glowing silver keyboards, which would have been good except that the pair of hands on the right, which belonged to Beth, suddenly stopped in midair and hit blue notes like a 9-year-old at her first recital. When the lights came up again, my client's face was as white as Middle Sea, and the flabby character, oozing a victorious smile, was on his way to the door. Well, they wrapped it up fast after that, and Beth ran into the wings, leaving Edie to take the bow alone. The band took over in a hurry and brought things down to normal. So as couples moved down to the dance floor and George the waiter headed for my table, I sat back and waited for that message from my client.
Here you are, sir. Compliments of the house.
Oh, thanks. Any message with this?
No, sir. Just that Mr. Redman had to leave.
Oh, thanks, George. I sipped the double scotch and wondered if I should take the initiative and contact my client. When the message I'd been waiting for came, good and loud, I jumped up, shoved my way through the gaping dancers to the dressing room hallway behind the stage. A gang of club personnel was bunched in front of a door, obviously locked, labeled Edie and Beth Tyler.
It was one of the twins, wasn't it?
Hey, what's the matter?
It's one of the twins. She screamed. We got to get in. That door's locked.
Break it down.
But
Get out of the way.
It's Edie. It's Edie.
All right, now, wait a minute. Hold it. She's all right. Clear out and give her a chance. Come on. Outside, everybody. Beat it. That means you two. Come on. Out. Here, Miss Tyler, take it easy. You're all right now. Come on, sit down. Tell me what happened.
I don't know for sure. I was worried about Beth. I came back and didn't see her anywhere. Then I heard a noise in here. It was dark. I came in and someone grabbed me.
A man?
Yes. I don't know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
I screamed. He knocked me down, then locked the door and got out through the window there. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Philip Marlowe, a private detective. Your sister hired me to investigate a guy. I was to meet her here after your number and find out about it. Any idea what's up?
No, I can't imagine. But, gee, Beth has been terribly upset ever since last night.
Oh? What happened last night?
Well, for one thing, my purse was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see why that should upset her. Gee, there was nothing in it but $12 and my makeup stuff.
Where's Beth now, do you know?
No, I haven't seen her since she ran off the stage. I'm not even sure she came in here.
No, she was here, all right. She dropped one of her gloves. You're still wearing both of yours. Where do you girls live? Maybe she went home.
Well, Beth has a cottage out on Hazeltine, 4179.
You don't live together? How come?
Well, gee, Mr. Marlowe, just working with Beth is hard enough. She's so sarcastic.
Okay, I'll wear my thick skin. One more thing, Miss Tyler. Do you happen to know where Neil went?
Neil's gone?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, that's funny. He always stays till the place closes. Oh, he must be coming right back.
I'll take a look. Then I'm going out to see your sister. Sarcasm and all. I spent 10 minutes questioning the help on the whereabouts of the boss and got nothing but double talk for answers. So since I was still carrying Beth's glove around with me, I dropped it in my pocket and went outside to my car. I'd opened the door and slid far enough under the wheel so I couldn't back out before I realized that the dough-faced Flab was already there on the seat. His right hand wrapped around something blunt and menacing in his sloppy jacket pocket.
You better come on in.
What are you doing in my car, blubber boy?
Don't get sassy now, mister. And the name is Sippy.
That's no improvement, and it's no answer.
All right. I saw you inside making with the big talk, so I says to myself, he's an interested party. I should look him up. Maybe we can do business together. All right, stay over there.
What kind of business? I'm particular about the gutters I crawl in.
It has to do with the twins inside there. You can get in touch with me later for further details. I got an angle, mister. You'll see when I leave.
Yeah? When you tried to work that angle, you got to the wrong twin in the dressing room. Do you know that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Sippy, where can I reach you?
You'll find out if you really know what's up. Don't try to follow me, though. I'll be seeing you.
When Sippy slid out of the car and beat it, I made one move after him and then stopped cold. Because lying on the seat where he'd been sitting was a green leather handbag with the name Edie etched on it. I snapped it open. It had been stripped of everything but the scent of Amia and the smudged slip of paper that read, Number 9 Arrow Motel, Lancashire Boulevard. So that was Sippy's address, and he had the stolen purse. But the why of all the commotion over 12 missing bucks was still the number one question mark. And I figured the best place for an answer to it was at Beth Tyler's. So I drove out to Hazeltine. But even before I stopped at number 4179, I heard the piano. I walked to the door and stood there a moment listening. I eased it open, slipped inside. Soft, indirect lighting accented the figure of the girl at the piano. The little waves of iridescent crimson chased themselves over the smooth satin gown as she played. Glossy blue-black hair fell to her shoulders. Beside her, a burning cigarette sent a single plume of smoke into the still air. Just for a moment, I found it difficult to remember that she was my client.
Oh?
You're looking better, Beth.
You're Philip Marlowe, I suppose.
Yeah. I dropped by to return your glove, among other things.
Just put it there on the table with the other one. Where did you get it, Marlowe?
In your dressing room at the club. Your sister tangled with an unidentified man who was hiding there after you left. While we're on that, why'd you shove off so fast?
I was scared.
How'd you know I'd find you?
You're a detective. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Look, if you want to burn up your retainer playing hide and seek, it's your business. Now, who's the guy you want me to check on? The flabby one who made you blow up tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Why?
Because I think my sweet twin sister is mixed up in something a little more serious than her usual scatterbrain escapades.
Hmm. And the flabby guy is in on it because he has a green purse, right?
How did you know that?
He left it with me. Name is Sippy. He lives at the Arrow Motel, number 9. Knows something worthwhile about this business, and he's anxious to sell it. All of which puts him a hop, skip, and a jump ahead of your detective. Now tell me, why is everybody, including Neil Redmond, all wound up over one stolen purse? What's it all about, baby?
I don't know, baby. Suppose you find out and tell me.
Wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that Neil loves your sister and you love Neil, would it?
Marlowe, I hired you to investigate a man, not to pry into my personal affairs.
You'll get more for your money if you stop holding out on me.
It's my money. Besides, I'm not holding out. Believe me.
I'll try. Real hard. Well, as soon as I've got something, I'll call you.
Where are you going now? My retainer entitles me to know, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. First to the club to find Redmond and get his side of it, and then I'll probably drop in on our chum, Sippy, at the Arrow Motel on Lancashire.
Good. I'll keep a light in the window for you.
Oh, sweet. Also keep your door locked. From the inside, baby. As I drove down the dark, winding street toward Ventura Boulevard, I caught a flash in the rearview mirror of a station wagon behind me. It looked like a tail, so I opened up. But it stayed with me. When it swung out into the left lane to pass, it suddenly cut in front of me. I jammed on the brakes as the spotlight slashed at my eyes, and when my front wheel banged against the curb, I was already half out of the car.
Stop right where you are, fella. Don't come 1 inch closer, I'll drop you.
He switched off the spotlight, and I saw a face the texture of a doormat over an embroidered purple shirt and orange tie. He had hand-tooled, high-heeled boots on and was topped off by a 10-quart cream-colored Stetson. But the doormat face was grim, and the silver-barreled Colt pistol in his hand looked right at home.
I followed you up here from the Saddle Club. I don't know what your game is or why you're messing around and what don't concern you, but I aim to find out mighty quick, so start talking.
Okay. First, I resent being crowded off the road. Second, I resent a spotlight in my face. And third, I don't like pistols pointed at my stomach. So cool off, Jesse James. You're wasting your time and mine.
You got it wrong there, friend. Paul Cedar don't waste his time, and you're going to find that out.
Paul Cedar, huh?
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're all excited over a stolen purse with $12 in it.
$12?
Yeah.
Listen, clown, there's 30 grand missing somewhere between Redmond and me, and I'm going to get it.
30,000?
Yeah. Redmond's a high roller, and that's okay with me. But he lost it fair and square in my joint over in Nevada, and I've been holding his markers much too long. So if I have to chalk that dough off to experience, it's going to be a pretty unpleasant experience for a certain party. Get me?
Yeah, I get you. But you're shoving the wrong way, Longhorn.
Somebody's trying to make a fool out of me, bright boy, and I don't stand for that. I'm liable to shove a lot of ways, and hard. So don't get underfoot. You're sure to get stepped on. So long, dude.
In just a moment, we'll return to the second act of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, tomorrow marks the anniversary of an important event in American history, the signing of the first peace treaty between the Indians and the Plymouth colonists. In commemoration of these events, CBS's Sunday night stars, Amos and Andy, will be found with a kingfish bearing the hatchet deeper than ever in their hopes and dreams. And CBS's own Jack Benny will be back again tomorrow with his special guest, Van Johnson. Invite some friends over. Sit back and enjoy the Jack Benny program. You can hear Amos and Andy every Sunday on most of these same CBS network stations, and Jack Benny over them all. Now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Dancing Hands.
When the Texan from Nevada galloped off in his trusty station wagon, I forgot all about Neil Redmond and headed instead for Sippy and his further details at the Arrow Motel on Lancashire, where Bungalow 9 turned out to be an all-alone green and white collection of clapboard that showed light, a half-open door, and nobody home to my knock. When I tried knuckles on wood again and still got only a faint echo for reply, I stepped inside. There in the center of an ivory-white throw rug and clamoring for attention like an only child at a family reunion was a wide and wet circle of red. there, the ugly splotches that narrowed as they got farther away trailed off until, finally, in the next room, the path ended where I expected it to. The quiet form of Skippy, sprawled over an upset chair and holding his hands tight against the red on his left side. When I got to him, he was going fast.
30 grand. A lot of dough. Didn't know I was shooting that high. And the twins.
One what, Sippy?
One of them.
Did one of them do this?
One.
He's dead, isn't he, Marlowe?
Yeah. Yeah, Redmond, he's very dead.
Oh, no, Marlowe. I only found him a few seconds before you did.
Yeah, and the rest of that run, you heard someone coming, you didn't want to be seen, so you ducked back out of sight, huh? I don't buy it, Redmond, because for one thing, it's too pat. For another, how do you explain being here in the first place? Come on, fast.
Okay, I'm here because I'm in a nasty jam.
Like what?
Like $30,000 I've got to pay in the next hour to a guy named Paul Cito who's running out of patience in a hurry, believe me.
About that, I do. I've already met the gentleman. But right now, Redmond, we're talking about Sippy.
Okay. Last night I had things to do, so I gave Edie Tyler the money for the payoff to Cedar. A couple of minutes after she stepped out of the club, somebody roughed her up and got away with her purse and the 30 grand.
You're a liar, Redmond. Edie herself told me that purse only had $12 in it. How come?
Simple like, Marlowe. In my business, you never yell copper too soon or too loud. It doesn't pay.
Mm-hmm. Now, look, for the third time, Redmond, you and Sippy, how do you figure?
I don't know. He was at the club tonight, acting funny. When he left, I got a glimpse of Edie's green purse sticking out of his topcoat pocket. Later on, I saw him run away from a car near the club, so I followed. I ended up here a couple of minutes behind him, and that, Marlowe, is the truth, I swear it.
Which you do at the drop of a... Hey, wait a minute. Look, if you're telling the truth, I begin to get a different picture. And by that, I specifically mean a very talented but very sly dame named Beth Tyler.
Oh, no, Marlowe.
Why not? Because you love Beth's sister? Face it, Redmond, it doesn't add up any other way. Sippy here couldn't have stolen that purse from Edie. If he did, he'd have taken his dough and blown, not spent his time putting out feelers. But on the other hand, if Sippy happened to see Beth take it from Edie, empty it, and toss it away, we've got another story, right?
Ah. Because he wouldn't make a move until he knew how much she had gotten away with.
Exactly. But there he ran into trouble because he was trying to get close to Beth, and in doing that, he got mixed up and went for Edie instead, like tonight at the club.
Sure. And a dying man's words just now about one twin.
To which you can add the unpleasant fact that I personally ran off at the mouth when I was up at Beth's an hour ago. So she knew where to come for Sippy. Look, Redmond, it's got to run that way. I'm sure of it.
Well, maybe you're right, Phil, but right or wrong, I'm still in the jam. So if you don't have any objections, I'm going back to my club now for a last try at raising that money again before Cedar shows.
You mean you're going to face him, Neil, with or without her?
I've got him, Marlowe. You see, I own a fast club, all right, and I gamble a lot, too. But I don't welch on my markers, no more than I knock over flabby little guys. You know what I mean, Phil?
I think so. But don't fold now, Neil, because I might still be lucky enough to catch up to Beth Tyler and your money both before your time runs out. And right now, that means fast to a phone and a call to Edie, who might know which way a runaway twin would head. I'll see you, Neil. The nearest phone was at an all-night mobile gas station a block away. As I dialed Edie's number, a thought hit me. Maybe Beth wouldn't head anywhere. Maybe she'd just stick around.
Hello?
Edie, this is Marlowe. Seen anything of Beth?
No, I haven't. But why? What is it, Marlowe?
Well, from where I stand, two things. First, your sister has the $30,000 and $12 that was in your purse last night.
Oh?
And second, she's just about it for a sloppy around the edges murder.
Oh.
Now, look, have you any idea where Beth would head if she had to get out of town in a hurry?
No, I don't, Marlowe.
Oh, well, maybe somebody up around her place does. I'll call you later.
Marlowe, wait. Are you sold on this? I mean, about the things you said Beth did?
Just about, Edie. But for your sake, let's hope I'm wrong. All the way, honey. Goodbye. Driving fast back toward Beth's place on Hazeltine still left me enough time to think about a not-too-small detail that I'd completely overlooked. Thanks to me, the entire Los Angeles Police Department knew nothing about what was going on in and around the Saddle Club. 5 minutes later, when I'd parked away from the dock and obviously deserted number 4179, I'd walked back and around to a pair of uncurtained French doors at the side. I knew that oversight is what is generally called a blunder. But in the next second, I knew it was nothing compared to the one I was making currently.
If you so much as turn your head again, Marlowe, I'll kill you.
Not like you did Sippy, please, Beth. I'd hate to go that way.
Sippy was a mistake, Marlowe, believe me. I was rushed.
So you shot and ran, huh?
Yes. But I didn't run too far, because from where I stood, I could hear and see both you and Redmond and talking the whole thing over.
And when you knew that we'd caught on to your act, you decided to follow me and see where I was going before you made your next move. Is that it?
Exactly. Now get inside. Go on, the door's unlocked. All right. Now get over there, near that closet, and don't turn around.
Why not? Afraid of the look on my face when you shoot?
Shut up, Marlowe. And stop being brave. Because unless I have to, I'm not going to kill you. After all, you've already served your purpose.
Which I presume was getting mixed up in this mess just long enough to find out about Sippy for you.
You presume correctly. Also, you talk too much. Now open that closet and get inside.
All right.
Go on.
As you say. But first, baby, one question. Did you do all this for the 30 grand alone? Or does it tie in with Neil Redmond and the way he feels about your sister Edie?
It's a little bit of each, Marlowe. But as I said, you talk too much. So get in there and shut up.
Getting out of Beth Taylor's half-inch thick oak closet was like arguing with an umpire. You couldn't be subtle. So 20 tiring minutes went by, and the heels on both my feet were numb before the paneling finally gave in, and I was out and over to the telephone to put in a call to the police. It should have been made a long time ago. But then, even as I was halfway through dialing the numbers, I saw something on an end table nearby that made me slowly change my mind. It was the 2 black gloves that Beth wore in the Dancing Hands act. And while I stared at them like they were alive and beckoning, I thought hard for what must have been a full minute. And then suddenly I knew that my next stop had to be the Saddle Club. As I parked at the Saddle Club, I saw light drifting out of Neil's office, which was something I had expected. Inside, I moved along a dark hall toward what I knew would be the trio of Neil Redmond, the Nevada Texan, and Eddie Tyler.
All right, Redmond.
The raucous voice of Paul Cedar was anything but happy.
Just how stupid you think I am.
Oh, that's Cedar, I'm telling the truth. Edie had the 30 grand, but somebody got it from her when she was on her way to you.
That's a stinking lie, and you know it, Redmond. You never had the money. This whole thing's been a frame to stall me. And one way or another, I'm going to get you to admit that.
No, you're not, Cedar. And if you don't drop that gun now, you're never going to do anything, ever. Come on, let it go. All right. Now sit down and shut up and listen hard, because Redmond's telling you the truth.
What?
Marlowe, you know where the money is?
That's right. And I also know who took it. Less than an hour ago, a little after I called you, Edie, Beth caught up to me and confessed the whole shebang, exactly as we figured it, Neil.
You mean she admitted getting the money from Edie and using you to locate Sippy?
That's right. But there's only one drawback to everything she admitted. None of it's true.
What do you mean, Marlowe?
I mean, Cedar, that Beth Tyler didn't steal your money from Edie here any more than she killed Sippy. I also mean that as far as I can tell, Beth Tyler was nothing more than a girl who played the piano and got upset when a stranger named Sippy started to bother her. And I never saw the real Beth Tyler after she ran away from a piano in the club tonight. That she's dead and that you, Edie, have been posing as Beth all night because, 1, you yourself stole Neil's money, and 2, you murdered your sister as well.
No!
Yes, Edie, come on, admit it. It's true.
No, it isn't. I guess it is at that, Marlowe.
And Beth's body?
In our dressing room. In the closet. I didn't want to kill her. But she found out that I had only pretended to be robbed when there was no one around. And that Sippy had seen me scream and get rid of the purse myself.
Sippy, who was only trying to muscle in on a deal, went to her by mistake, huh?
Yes. That's how she knew what I'd done. When she confronted me in the dressing room just before you came in and said that she wouldn't stand by and let me do a thing like that to Neil, I lost my temper.
You killed her, Edie.
Yes, I did, Neil. And when Marlowe showed up after her scream, I said that someone had attacked me. And then I pretended to be both Beth and myself from there on to get out of the whole thing. And I almost did. But now I'm so sorry. Oh, no.
Couple of bad hours hours went by before the police had everybody's story, and Paul Cedar and the 30,000 was gone for Nevada, and Edie was gone for good. That left just Neil Redmond and me alone and standing near the main bar in the club. Neil was doing his best to stay all in one piece.
Well, Marlowe, it's been a tough night for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, but a tough one for you, Neil. What with Cedar and the money and...
The girls, Marlowe?
Yeah.
At least it came out right before the cowboy got too tough, thanks to you. So tell me, Phil, how'd you know that Beth was dead and that Edie was both people all along?
That was a couple of gloves, Neil, the ones they wore in that Dancing Hands act. You see, when I first met Edie in the dressing room, she was wearing hers, and one of Beth's was on the floor. Hey, pour me one, will you?
Yes.
Okay. I took it, and later when I met what I thought was Beth, I returned it, and she put it with what we both thought was its mate.
Yeah.
Thanks. But a little while ago, when I got close to the gloves again, I saw that couldn't be, that they were both for the left hand, Neil.
Ah. Then when Edie went to Beth's place to pass herself off as her sister, who she had already killed, she was smart enough to know that she should have only one glove around her.
Yeah, but not smart enough to think about which glove it should be. From there, I worked backwards.
Until you got to the three of us at the club and tried what you knew might be the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were right, Phil, all the way.
Yeah, but I was still gambling. If I had been wrong, Neil, I was giving the real Beth a long head start.
It's always that way when you gamble, Phil. I know. Sometimes you pick right, sometimes wrong. Cards, dice. Even with twins. Good night, fella. When I finally got to my car, started out of the valley and back toward Hollywood, it was better than 8 o'clock in the morning. And here and there as I drove, I saw people who I'd never heard of and who'd never heard of me, stumbling outside after their morning papers. And I got to wondering what they were going to think when they read about a girl who had killed both her twin sister in a nightclub and a flabby guy in a motel who wasn't much good. Oh, well, it was hard to say. And for myself, I was too tired to think. Or maybe I just didn't want to.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, star Gerald Mohr, and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Vivi Janis, Lou Krugman, Ed Begley, Paul Frees, and Bert Holland. The special music is by Richard O'Runt. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
When it started, it was simple. Just a lawsuit for damages. But before it was over, it was far from simple, and the damages were murder. All because of a red-headed woman, a ghostwriter with ambition and a match that burned with a bright green flame.
With part of its star-studded Sunday nights devoted to shows named after great personalities such as Jack Benny, Lum and Abner, and Amos and Andy, CBS also goes to famous fiction for one of the brightest, most dramatic of its Sunday galaxy, The Adventures of Sam Spade. Created by the master hand of Dashiell Hammett, Sam Spade cuts a new and deadly caper with mystery, murder, and adventure on most of these same CBS network stations every Sunday. Join him tomorrow night. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
When my telephone rang, it jerked me out of one nightmare and right into the middle of another, where a woman with a secret, a worried man, and a shadow out of the past met with fear and fury in the dead of night.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. And now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Friend from Detroit.
There was a wood nymph dressed in nothing but a veil of dewdrops. She was pirouetting from one huge bluebell to another on gossamer wings. And with every turn, she smiled and came closer. But just as I reached out for a hand, something happened. The bluebells changed into old tomato cans and started to ring. A bandy-legged little man with a jackhammer went to work on my head. I fell over a cliff, and just before I landed on a red-hot pile of broken Scotch bottles... Oh, I woke up. But the jackhammer didn't stop. I switched on the light and looked at my watch. It was 1 in the a.m., and the phone on my bed table was screaming for an answer. Hello?
Marlowe, this is Dave. Betty's gone. She's in trouble. You gotta help me, Marlowe. You gotta come over to my apartment right away.
Wait a minute. Who is this?
Dave Pryor. I run the coffee joint on the corner. You know me.
Yeah, sure, Dave. I remember. What's the matter?
My wife, Betty, she's gone. You gotta help me.
Dave, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm in bed. Besides, you know I don't monkey with family quarrels.
It's not like that, Phil. Believe me, I'm scared for her. Phil, please, come over to the apartment. 2000 Beechwood right away. It's a matter of life.
Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Marlowe, I thought you'd never get here. Look, somebody fired a shot through the door, and when I got back with the aspirin, Betty was gone,
All
and
right,
I
wait a
grabbed
minute,
the...
Dave, hold it. I'm not even awake yet. Look, sit down. Take it from the top. Slow.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it started this morning at the coffee joint when a fancy guy came in and talked to Betty. She waits on the table.
Yeah, I know. What do you mean fancy?
Well, a slick dresser, cufflinks, stick pin, all that. I didn't know him, and Betty tossed him off to me as a masher. Maybe he was, but she seemed upset.
Slower, huh?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, tonight about 9, another guy came in, a chunky bird with a deep voice. Betty had just got back from shopping, and I was in the kitchen. See, when I heard a tray of dishes fall and Betty came back white as a sheet, she was scared, Phil, scared stiff.
Hey!
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Go ahead.
I looked out, and that chunky guy was leaving. Betty insisted he had nothing to do with it, that she was just nervous.
Was somebody else in the place at the time?
Let's see. Some Tribune reporter that comes in every night was up at the counter. He was the only one.
And Betty stayed on the job till you closed, huh?
Yeah, till midnight. But, Phil, she was in a bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
After we got home here, she sent me out with some aspirin. I was only out for 15 minutes, Phil. When I came back, she was gone. And look, this bullet hole in the glass door to the backyard. Somebody out there shot at her, and maybe hit her or something.
All right, Dave, steady. Now take it easy. You and Betty have a gun?
No. Why?
Well, in the first place, the bullet went out through this glass. It didn't come in. And another thing, Dave, who did you call tonight after you phoned me?
Why, nobody.
Phone directory on the dresser here is open to the B's. Boone to wardrobe. Mean anything to you?
No, I didn't even realize it was over there. I looked you up in the classified.
Mm-hmm. Okay, come on. Let's take a look in the backyard. Any light out there?
Yeah, I rigged one up for the barbecue. Look, Marlowe, there must be something
easy. Now, we'll straighten this out, believe me. Now, let's see. The line of sight seems to run somewhere between the barbecue and the gate. No footprints, though. Maybe...
Marlowe. Marlowe, here by the tree, it's a hat. Gray snap brim, initials VR on the sweatband.
VR. Mean anything to you?
Why, no. Well, sure, that's Van Remeny's hat. He's the newspaper guy I told you about.
Tribune reporter that was in your place tonight?
Yeah.
Why should he be dodging bullets in your backyard?
I don't know.
Dave, where's Betty from?
Detroit. When she came out here, I gave her a job.
And then you both fell for each other and got married, huh?
Yeah, 2 years ago next month. And we've been happy, Phil. We've been...
Yeah. Now, look, Dave. Why did you call me instead of the cops?
I guess I'm afraid she's mixed up in something bad.
You know, if it turns out that way, I'll have to call him myself.
Okay, Phil. But you're on my side until you know for sure.
Yeah. All right, now you stay here close to your phone.
Okay.
I'll check with you. Right now, I got to get a line on a bare-headed reporter. He can get us started if he hasn't lost anything more than his hat when I find him. So long, Dave. A reporter's hat, 2 strangers, and a bullet hole somehow added up to the fast fate of a hard-working kid named Betty, whose husband's only claim to fame was selling the best cup of coffee in town. It made no sense, but as I walked up the street toward my car, I figured that through Van Remeny, I could get to the first answer. I was wrong. The first answer got to me. A thick hedge suddenly sprouted arms. One jerked me around while the other held the cold throat of a .45 against my throat.
Your car registration tag says your name is Philip Marlowe.
No kidding. How do you suppose that happened?
But it doesn't mention your racket. Shamus, maybe?
Could be. And you?
I'm a tourist.
Oh, sure. Just out to see the sights.
That's it. One in particular. $25,000 that belongs to me. I don't want any interference from you or that square inside there.
You mean Dave Pryor?
I mean Dave Pryor. I'll go back in there and tell him to cool off. The little woman is all right. She's just helping an old friend, you might say.
Might I say you're the friend?
Never mind. Unless Mr. Jitters in there kicks up a fuss, everything will be fine. Betty knows what she's doing. She's got a lot of talent for it. Too much to waste slinging hash. And remember what I said, Marlowe. Lay off.
I'll remember more than that about you, Foghorn.
Just remember to count 10 before you move, boy.
Well, there's no point in trying to outsmart a 45. And with 3 steps, Foghorn vanished in the night. Also gone was a big chunk of my respect for a doll named Betty Pryor and a taste in old friends. Just so I wasn't jumping to conclusions, I went to my car and drove down to Hollywood Boulevard. At the first all-night gas station, I stopped and put in a call to the Tribune, where a guy on the desk told me, through a mouthful of mangled cigar, that unless Remini was at Bungalow 24, Beverly Crest Hotel, covering the murder of an ex-Detroit hood, he was fired. Then he hung up. But the one word Detroit made the call a jackpot, so I headed for the hotel on the double. It was pink and Spanish and squatted in a grove of well-behaved palm trees at the edge of a domesticated jungle, which gave the illusion of privacy to a string of bungalows that weren't. But number 24 had all the privacy of a glass-faced cutaway beehive when I pulled up in the middle of 2 squad cars and an ambulance and went inside. Sprawled on the floor in front of a desk was the very well-dressed Exhibit A, complete with cufflinks and stickpin, and presiding as usual was Detective Lieutenant Ibarra, who didn't see me until I walked up beside him.
What are you doing here, Marlowe?
I can smell blood clear across town. What's the story, Ibarra?
The name is Spec Willard, a gambler from Detroit. Retired out here to California a few years back to play horses and women. He was shot to death at about 8 o'clock tonight by a person or persons unknown.
Another gang job?
No, I don't think so. Looks more like armed robbery that'd get out of hand.
How so?
We found a currency wrapper from a local bank that read $25,000 in an open drawer in the bedroom. And one of the bellhops saw a woman, unidentified so far, run out of here about the time the coroner says that Willard was shot.
A woman?
Yeah. That fits because he was known to be quite a nightclubber and general playboy. You wouldn't happen to know something about this woman, would you, Marlowe?
Me? Certainly not. No, I'm after a man, a live one, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, Marlowe, take this nickel. In case you should just happen to hear something, I want you to spend that on a phone call to the police department. Now, who is it you're looking for?
A Tribune reporter named Van Remini. You know him?
Unfortunately, that's him over there, the sticky-fingered one by the window, swiping that book of matches just now, the one without a hat.
Oh, yeah, I know. Thanks, Lieutenant. I'll see you. Hey, Remini, can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah, sure. What's on your mind?
I'm Philip Marlowe, private detective.
Well, don't apologize. What's up, Marlowe?
Know a girl named Betty Pryor?
Pryor?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. She and her husband run a one-arm joint on Franklin, don't they?
That's right, Remini. I understand Betty got into a little trouble tonight. Heard about it?
Nope. Wouldn't worry, though. Trouble's not new to Betty.
Yeah, that's one popular school of thought. Incidentally, you seem to be going a long ways out of your way on this run-of-the-mill murder story, Remini.
You're taking a long way around to the point, pal. Get with it. I'm in a hurry.
Okay, pal. But keep it under your hat, won't you? The gray one, I mean.
Oh, so that's how
Yeah, that's the way it is, yeah. Now, do you mind telling me what you saw in Pryor's backyard tonight?
You name it. Shall I play dumb or lie?
Suit yourself.
See, my press card's just as good as your license, sweetheart. It gets me in, gets me out again. In my dodge, that's called reporting.
Remini, I'll squeeze the truth out of you eventually.
I'm sorry I can't wait. I've got a deadline. Anything else?
Yeah, one thing, a match.
Yeah, sure, Marlowe. Anytime.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And, Remini.
Yeah?
Don't hang on too long, huh? Liable to singe your pinkies. The reporter blew out the match and looked at me steadily for a moment. And his lips shaped a word I ignored. Then he walked away. I had seen enough of the book of matches he'd stolen to know it was in the Star-Kissed Room, a glossy, glass-roofed dine, dance, and drink emporium near Arthur Murray's studio on Wilshire Boulevard. So I made like I was in for the night and watched Remini leave. All the way to his car, he kept looking back over his shoulder as if he expected to be followed. I waited till he was out of sight, and then I headed for Wilshire in the Star-Kissed Room. But when I got there, it was closed. Lemony's car wasn't in the neighborhood, and the only thing that kept the trip from being a total loss was a spotlighted picture. 10 feet square of a sultry, svelte chanteuse labeled Carla Borden, whose come-on-in smile and almost costume was a cinch to increase the accident rate of the block by 20%. But then I took another look at her name and got back to business. It started with a B, as in phone book, opened to Boone and Bordeaux. I found a directory, got it open to Boone and Bordeaux, and halfway down the page was Borden, Carla, 2840 North Lucerne. It took 10 minutes to get there and 2 more to find out that she had an apartment, number 17, at the end of the first floor hall. The door was open and I started for it, but ducked back close to the elevator when a woman came out and ran down the corridor toward me. It was Betty Pryor. Hold it, Betty. Whoa!
What? Mr. Marlowe, what are you...
Never mind the stall, Betty. I've been in a long time.
Why, I don't know what you're talking
Now, look,
about.
you left a pretty worried guy at home.
Dave, did he send you after me?
That's right.
Why can't you fools leave me alone? Why does he have to be so stupid?
Hey, you've got a few ideas mixed up, kid.
Oh, sure, I'm wrong. I'm the one who's all mixed up. Let go of
Not
me.
until I've got a couple of things straight. Now, what happened? Did life in a hamburger stand get a little stale?
Yes, you two-bit snoop.
Okay. Dave thinks you're in trouble. I think you're in trouble, and I think somebody waved a few bills at you, and you lost your grip.
Why,
and you're in so deep now you can't get out, and it's no more than you deserve. Now, come on. We're going right back down the hall of Carla's apartment. We're going to have a little chat, just the three of us.
No, I won't. Let
Come on.
Take your hands off, Marlowe. Stand still.
Well, my 2 chums, the Foghorn and its .45 caliber equalizer.
Easy does it. You were lucky the first time. Well, Betty, did you get it?
No, something went wrong. Something terrible
Shut
went...
up. Marlowe isn't Steve. We'll talk after he's out of the way. All right, you. Get in that elevator, chum. And we'll wait right here to see you leave. Go on, here.
That .45 makes you awful brave, chum.
This way we don't offend a lady by being uncouth. And you get a chance to go up in the world. Just put your finger on a button.
Now, wait a minute.
Come on. All right. Now, all you have to do is push.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, the most famous neighbors in radio, the Ronald Colmans, will pay Jack Benny a visit again tomorrow as CBS's great Sunday night gets underway with another star-studded group of famous entertainers. Amos and Andy, Lum and Abner, Eve Arden as the gay schoolmistress, our Miss Brooks, and Helen Hayes as a hillbilly. These are only 4 more of the 10 great entertainments which will come your way tomorrow night. Go visiting with the Colmans on all of these same stations on The Jack Benny Show, and hear the rest of CBS's great Sunday Night 10 as they come one by one over most of these stations. And now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Friend from Detroit.
My cage on cables was 10 exasperating seconds getting to the next floor. And I was another 10 getting free of it, back down the stairs and out into the dark street where the red splash of a taillight disappeared around a corner. And that was all that was left of Foghorn and company. So I turned back toward Carla Borden's room. When I stepped across the threshold, I found that with the exception of a single bureau that was still intact, apartment number 17 looked like it had just played host to the vortex of a cyclone. The bed, a chest of drawers, another bureau, a desk, everything was inside out. And in the middle of all that was the body of Carla Borden. Blood from a deep, ugly cut on her head, staining the snow-white front of her Angora sweater. I saw something else, which reminded me that this was not the first corpse of the night. The plush leather frame was shaped like an oversized lifesaver, and in it was the picture of a handsome man, all smiles, inscribed, "With love to my very best girl, Speck Willett." It was 10 minutes before I got Kennedy Barrow, who was still up at the Beverly Crest Hotel. And after I told him about Carla and her connection with the late Mr. Willard and Betty Pryor and my connection with Dave, I stopped talking and listened.
Marlowe, we just learned that Willard had some kind of a $25,000 caper going with one of his old mobster friends from Detroit, named Joe Lazar.
Well, maybe it's something with a voice an octave below bottom?
The same, Phil. Anyhow, it looks like they worked out a gambling deal for old time's sake. At the last minute, Willard tried to welch on Lazar and got killed for his trouble. And Lazar searched the place until he found the 25,000.
No. That part doesn't fit, Ibarra.
How so?
Well, I've run into Lazar twice tonight. I know he and the money are still strangers.
Oh?
After what happened here with the team of Betty and Lazar getting to the singer Carla, I figured they're still looking for it. Also, I figured Carla was somewhere near when Lazar killed Spec Willard, and that she took the money and... Call you later, Ibarra. I got clumsy company in the hall outside. All right, ballerina, get your foot out of that bucket and come on in with your hands up. Well, the man with the very long nose for news. What brings you around, Remini?
For one thing, the fact that you got no corner on brains, Marlowe, and for another... Who did that to her?
Our mutual friend, Betty Pryor, and her running mate. I believe they were looking for $25,000.
Did she and Joe Lazar get the money, Marlowe?
No, they... Hey, Remini, how did you know the man with Betty was named Joe Lazar?
Haven't you heard? I'm a good reporter, Marlowe. The kind that keeps eyes and ears open and mouth shut. It isn't until I know the whole story.
Which, as far as you're concerned, is precisely what?
That I happen to be...
You happen to be?
That I happened to be in Dave's restaurant early this evening, where I recognized the only other cash customer as Joe Lazar, an out-of-work mobster from Detroit. He said something to Betty that scared her right out of a tray of dishes, so I figured I'd find out what was going on. I've been in on the show ever since.
Yeah, including a corny blackout up at 2000 Beechwood Drive where you lost your hat running away from a bullet.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just so you don't toss and turn when you get around to going to bed tonight, I'll fill in the rest. I followed Betty and Dave from the restaurant to their apartment. I watched her get rid of Dave, and then when I saw Lazar come in, I moved up close to the window.
And stayed there until Lazar spotted you and threw a bullet your way?
You're very clever.
Yes, I am, man.
But before that happened, I heard him tell Betty that Spec Willard had talked about a girl singer at the Starkiss room named Carla Borden. And that since he didn't know Carla on sight, she could have been the lady he'd seen running out of Spec's apartment with a 25 gram.
Oh. Now that phone book of Dave's open to the bees ties in.
I'm so glad. Now, Marlowe, lest we digress too far, how come this one bureau here hasn't been turned upside down along with everything else?
I don't know. Any more than I know why you're holding back so much from the law.
Well, maybe it's because I don't like cops, Marlowe. Oh, a black one. Or maybe it's because I'm in the same kind of racket as you. Chin way out and a lot of fast talk, just so papers can know what's going on an hour ahead of the rest of the world. Well, there's no 25,000 in here. I got to blow.
Before Ibarra shows?
Before Ibarra shows. He always arrives with an entourage, Marlowe, one that includes other news hounds. So it's me for a fast cab and downtown to my paper with a story. So long, fella. I'll see you around.
Hey, wait a minute, Remini.
Yeah?
I'll give you a lift. I'm going that way myself.
Okay.
I got a story, too. A lousy story I've got to tell a nice guy named Dave. Come on. All the time we drove, Remini half-faced me and smoked one cigarette after another while he rattled on about Joe Lazar. The great story he had and a lot of other things I didn't hear because
from here to there.
I was busy trying to find the right words with which to tell Dave Pryor that his wife was no good. So when we were about halfway to Beechwood Drive and Remini, who was pushing close to his deadline, decided to get out and phone his story in from a drugstore, I was glad.
So long, Marlowe.
A second after that, I knew I was kidding myself. Because even with just silence for company, I was still no place with the right words. 10 minutes later, when I stood in front of Dave on the steps to his house and stammered out the facts just as I had run across them, I forgot about words, right or wrong. I thought instead about my client, a badly hurt guy, but one who would never say die.
Marlowe, I can't believe all this. I won't. Tell me, where's Betty now?
I don't know, Dave. Now, look, maybe we ought to head for police headquarters because sooner or later we're each going to have a story to tell Lieutenant Ibarra. Come on, my car's over here.
Oh, okay, Phil. I guess that's the only thing to do, all right.
Yeah, I guess so. Here. Better have a cigarette, Davey.
Oh, thanks.
Kid, we'll try to make this as painless as we...
As we what, Marlowe? What is it?
Hmm?
Well, what are you staring at?
Front seat.
But I don't see anything, Phil. What is it? What
Shut
are you
up,
staring
Dave. Shut up. Give me a minute, will you? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Come on, Dave. Pile in.
But why, Marlowe? Where are we going?
Starkiss room to play a long shot. Slapped my foot down hard on the accelerator and kept it that way right through a string of I didn't care what color traffic lights until 5 minutes later when we screeched to a stop away from the side entrance to the Starkiss room.
I left Dave in the front seat, piled out fast, and ran a dozen yards to an abrupt halt. At the sight of something that turned the long shot I was playing into an odds-on favorite. It was the stage entrance door, open a couple of inches, and in front of that, and unconscious on the hard sidewalk where he'd fallen, was the clad in blue form of a private patrolman. His pistol holster conspicuously empty. Inside, I slowly picked my way along an L-shaped corridor until I saw a shaft of bright yellow from a flashlight. It was moving away from a door marked Carla Borden. It brought me up short and flat against the wall. But then as the man on the other end of the beam of light moved away from me, I got a very steady grip on the .38 in my pocket and started after him. A minute later, he entered the main room of the club, and it was there, as he started across the glass ceiling dance floor, that I recognized the very self-confident gait of a very self-confident guy. And that made the next move mine.
Bar's closed, Remini, and don't move, Buster. I'll blow your head off. Ah. Looks like you're making news this time, good reporter. Or isn't that package in your hand the 25 grand you just found in Carla Borden's dressing room, huh? The same Carla Borden you murdered not an hour ago in an apartment on Lucerne, where you first thought the money was, where Betty Pryor surprised you before you could finish searching, where you later returned in the role of an all-American newsboy so you could get to that last bureau.
All right. I've heard enough, Marlowe. But I'm not going to stick around for more details.
You make a break and I'll shoot, Remini.
Try it, Eagle.
Stop, Remini, stop!
Marlowe,
Nice shooting, Marlowe. But don't turn around because where I'm standing, it's dark. And where you're standing, it's light. Now, throw your gun away, fella. Come on, toss it. That's better. All right, Betty. Get over to that dead newspaper guy and get the money. And we'll take care of the private detective here.
What do you mean, take care, Joe? I can't go along with murder.
Spec Willard's death didn't seem to bother you any.
Shut up, Marlowe.
Spec Willard. Joe, you killed...
Yes, I killed Spec, that Welcher. 8 o'clock tonight. And I had to stay undercover, but still get my hands on the money. So, I came to you for help. I didn't tell you about the killing because I didn't think you'd play ball if you knew about it. Now, all that's history now, and I'll still go to your dear husband, Dave, and talk lots about the kind of cheap kid you used to be in Detroit if you don't get moving. Now, what do you say, Betty?
I say no, Joe. I also say I made a mistake in the first place, letting you use me to run your filthy errands. Just so the guy I love wouldn't have to know about the kind of people I once ran around with. Before I had any brains.
All right. That's the dumb way you want it. That's the dumb way it'll be. And taking care of 2 years is much harder than taking care of 1.
What about 3, Lazar?
Dave, stay back!
No, Marlowe, no. I've stayed back too long already. I've stayed back while Betty has been risking her life to protect what we've got.
If you take another step, I'll shoot, kid. I warned you for the last time. Stay back.
No, Lazar, I won't.
You thinking scum, Lazar!
Oh, Dave, you're hit.
Yeah. But I'll be all right. I'll be all right now, Betty.
Dr. Reese, please report to surgery.
Well, Mrs. Pryor,
Dr. Reese,
Harlow, the
please
doctor says that
report
Dave's
to
going to be
surgery.
fine in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Caught one on the shoulder, the other on the hip.
He certainly had courage, didn't he?
Yeah, and you did all right, too, Betty. Mixing in this whole mess just to keep the home fires burning. Tell me, whatever made you think that a guy like Dave wouldn't understand that you turned over a new leaf?
Well,
Dr. Reese wanted in
I
surgery.
don't know, Phil. I guess I wasn't very smart.
No, you weren't, Mrs. Pryor, but you're lucky because Marlowe here was. And that brings me around to a loose end, Phil. How did you know that Remini was your man?
Know that. Because of something I saw in the upholstery of the front seat of my car he borrowed. Tufts of snow-white Angora, which was the kind of sweater that Carla Borden had on when she was murdered, after they struggled.
And since you didn't touch the body yourself, they couldn't have come from your suit.
No. And Remini was the only other one who had been in my car. So I figured that the Angora fuzz had gone from Carla's sweater to Remini's suit to my upholstery.
Sure.
All of which means that Remini must have been in Carla's room before I got there as well as after. See? And then once I thought back about his getting out of my car to phone his story in, I realized that when I dropped him near a drugstore, he had also been near the Star-Kissed room.
Yes. That's exactly where he'd headed. You see, Phil, Joe and I followed both of you from Carla Borden's place because, well, after Joe put you in that elevator and we ran, Joe said we had to return and wait for Remini, who was sure to come back and finish his search.
And the whole business because Lazar, after he had murdered Speck Willard, was afraid to publicly go after Carla Borden. And the money he felt was his.
Yes. He knew about me and Dave because Speck Willard accidentally dropped into our place this morning.
Correction, baby.
What?
Yesterday morning.
Oh.
It's now 9 a.m. Oh. And a good time to call quits, huh? Good night, kids. Well, by the time I got back to my apartment on Franklin, it was 10:30 in the too bright morning. I was sporting sandpaper eyelids and a knot in the small of my back that felt like a wet dish rag. Oh, but once I had all the shades down and was undressed and in bed, I forgot about that. And I thought instead of the wood nymph dressed in nothing, with a veil of dewdrops. But then suddenly I stopped. The telephone. I got out of bed. I picked it up with both hands, opened the dresser drawer, and jammed it deep under all the socks I owned. And then I got back to bed. And the wood nymph, in her veil of dewdrops, she was pirouetting from one huge bluebell to another. Oh, my. On gossamer wings.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, stars Gerald Mohr, and is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Dinelli, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Virginia Gregg as Betty Pryor, Peter Leeds as Dave Pryor, Harry Bartell as Van Remini, and Ed Begley as Joe Lazar. Lieutenant Detective Ibarra was played by Jeff Corey. The special music was by Richard Orant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
It was a hunt through a jungle of city streets, with danger waiting at every intersection, until halfway through, when the hunters became the hunted, and death brought an end to the game.
Colemans visiting Jack Benny, plus Amos and Andy, Eve Arden, and Helen Hayes as a hillbilly. Yes, that earlier announcement about CBS programs tomorrow night sounded great, didn't it? Except you Philip Marlowe fans may have been wondering, isn't there a mystery show among that great Sunday night 10 on CBS? Of course there is. One of the great detectives in the mystery world, Dashiell Hammett's one and only Sam Spade. Sam will be here, hard-hitting, fast-moving as always, tomorrow night on most of the same CBS network stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of the same CBS stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
It was a hunt through a jungle of city streets, with danger waiting at every intersection, until halfway through when the hunters became the hunted, and death brought an end to the game.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Grim Hunters.
morning paper had headlined prices rising. My bank statement in the afternoon mail had warned balance falling. And I had wasted the evening on behalf of a client who ran out on me when I tried to collect. All of which added up to the end of the day and me unhappy in my office at 10 p.m., with one hand on my checkbook and the other one raised in almost solemn oath. I, Philip Marlowe, private detective and too often public servant, hereby resolve to one way or another jockey my budget into something close to equilibrium. And from this day Hello, Marlowe speaking.
My name is Helen Palmer, Marlowe. I need your help badly.
Yeah, but look,
I'm up at 8700 Magnolia Terrace in the Hollywood Hills. Now, please, drop whatever you're doing and... No!
I must have let go of the phone, grabbed my hat and coat, opened and closed the office door, piled into my car outside, and raced up into the Hollywood Hills because the next thing I remember after Helen Palmer's scream was swinging off North Bronson Drive onto Magnolia Terrace. But a minute later, when I screeched to a stop away from number 8700, scrambled out from under the wheel and started on the run for the front door, I was no longer sure of anything. Because the house in question, a stock southern mansion complete with stable boy statue and a gravel driveway, which according to the book should have been as dark and as quiet as the inside of a coffin, was anything else but. And when I got to the oversized bronze door knocker and dropped it hard, I was beginning to doubt that I had the right address.
Can I be of some assistance, sir?
I don't know. I'm looking for a woman named Helen Palmer who called me at my office. Said she needed help. And a second after that, she...
Screamed, huh? Tell me, sir, what is your name and occupation?
In that order, Philip Marlowe, private detective.
Good for Helen, good for
Happy, aren't you? What's going on here? What is this?
Why, it's a party, sir. A scavenger hunt. And it looks like Helen Palmer's the
Now,
winner.
wait a minute, laughing boy. I had a call that was interrupted by pistol shots, and I...
All just part of the play, sir.
Yeah, Helen Palmer had to bring back one private detective.
Yeah, you see, Marlowe, each list, aside from the usual hard-to-find objects, had a human being on it.
That's right. I had to bring back a Hoover vacuum cleaner salesman, and believe it or not, he's already sold our good host, Thaddeus Grover, the deluxe model.
Yes, sir, he did it bad. You see, Mr. Marlowe, Helen Palmer wasn't permitted to actually hire you. That's why she had to pretend to be in trouble.
With the net result that I nearly broke my neck getting up here. Mr. Grover, where is Miss Palmer?
Well, I don't know for sure, Marlowe. She called just a bit ago and said that she only had to catch on to you and one other item and would be back after that.
Which makes her the winner, Mr. Marlowe, because none of us did better than half our list. By the by, you don't happen to have the breech lock of a 57-millimeter anti-tank gun with you.
At the moment, no. Nor do I have time for scavenger hunters.
Not even when they most cordially invite you in with the finest serving of party-style Southern fried chicken imaginable. Come on, Mr. Marlowe.
No, I'm sorry.
Come on.
Come on.
It's delicious chicken.
Well, okay, the chicken did it. The inside of Thaddeus Grover's house was also stock southern mansion from a giant cut glass punch bowl. Belonged to my mother, sir, First Lady of Atlanta, Georgia, sir, to a wide and winding colonial staircase. It left you expecting the descent of Scarlett O'Hara at any moment. There was one strange note in the soft southern surroundings. Piled 3 feet high in the middle of the room were the crazy quilt results of the evening scavenger hunt, including a wooden cigar store Indian, a pair of Hickok suspenders from the local fire chief, 1 red motorcycle, a stuffed owl, a set of antlers, and more. And behind all that, my counterparts, the bring-em-back alive items from each list. A streetcar conductor in uniform, a waiter bald and under 40, a school teacher red-headed and over 50. But I was the center of attention. But Thaddeus introduced one after another of the guests to the genuine, 100% non-shrinkable private detective.
And now, Mr. Marlowe, sir, a very special friend of mine. At 31, sir, the president of Sample and Claiborne, best building contractors in the city of Los Angeles.
Oh, that's so very interesting, Mr. Grover.
Yeah, moreover, Mr. Marlowe, Sample made it right to the top in the past 2 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, ever since old Joshua Claiborne got killed falling off a scaffold.
He did?
Because between you and me and the gatepost, some folks say it was suicide. But... Oh, Larry! Boy, I'd like you to meet Mr. Marlowe, private detective. Mr. Marlowe, Larry Sample.
How do you do?
Hello, Mr. Marlowe. Glad you're with us. Thaddeus, has Rhonda called in yet? Last time I heard from her was when we split our list in two, and she headed out after a Latin American rumba team.
Well, if she went after a boy, she'll bring her back.
That's Rhonda Langley we're speaking of, Mr. Marlowe, Larry's lady friend.
Oh?
Nicest person I know. Except, of course, my fiancée, Helen.
Helen is in Palmer, my patron, Mr. Grover.
Yes, sir. One and the same, sir. Well, we certainly have a lot of fun, even if we don't make much money, huh, Marlowe?
Yeah, you certainly... Mr. Grover, did you say money?
Most surely did, boy. You know, dollars and cents.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, you'll excuse me, please, but I do have to run. Good night, Mr. Sample.
Right.
And Mr. Grover, sir, it's been a distinct pleasure, sir. I bid you goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, sir. You're a card.
When I got back to my office, which I had left lights on and unlocked, my telephone was ringing. At this late hour, gullible me took faint hope that it could be a client who might still save the day. When I picked up the receiver...
Marlowe?
I let go of that straw fast.
Marlowe.
It was Detective Lieutenant Ibarra.
Marlowe, do you know a girl named Helen Palmer?
Hey, Ibarra, don't tell me there's a pair of somewhat flat feet on the ladies' scavenger hunt list.
Very funny, Phil. How do you know her?
No, not beyond a panic telephone call that ended in a make-believe scream and a couple of pistol shots. All designed to bring me running to a party at 8700 Magnolia Terrace.
Mm-hmm. Well, that adds all right, because the only items not checked off a list are a night watchman's badge and one detective private, which must be you, since your name is circled in the classified directory here in this phone booth.
You're in what phone booth? Where are you, Ibarra?
At a closed filling station on Van Ness off Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Why is the girl's list there with you?
Because it's clenched in her right hand, Phil. And she's folded up on the floor of this booth. Dead.
Oh, no.
2 bullet holes in her back.
Oh, yeah, but Ibarra, her call was a gag.
The shots weren't. Anyhow, it looks like a stick-up since the lady's purse is gone and a wino we picked up. A wino we picked up saw what he calls a curly-headed guy with short legs do it and run. Also, the wino says that the murderer had been hanging around for a couple of hours like he was looking for a well-to-do prospect.
Yeah, I know, but it's still kind of strange. Me getting that call, I mean. Well, I'll drop around to headquarters tomorrow morning, Lieutenant, if you need any statement from me.
I think you'd better make that tonight, Phil. At the 8700 address. I'm sending Mooney up there now.
Oh, but wait a minute, Ibarra. You don't need me, and I do need business. If you think I'm going to get it by...
Phil.
Huh?
Phil, let's say that I'd appreciate it if you'd show for a few minutes. Okay?
No. Well, okay, a few minutes. Just so long as you appreciate it. Goodbye. Driving back to Magnolia Terrace, I used Detective Lieutenant Ibarra as an oversized whipping boy for the day's disappointments. So when I finally braked to a stop behind a half-parked squad car, which meant that Police Officer Mooney was already on hand, I was about back to normal. But then in the next quick moment, I forgot all about Ibarra because in the shadows ahead, sneaking away from a side entrance to number 8700, looking as guilty as Lucretia Borgia leaving a corner pharmacy, was a young lady, brunette and beautiful. She hurried directly to a gray Nash parked in the rear and, without looking back, climbed in and took off. Following her had to be more fun than conversation with Mooney. 10 minutes later, the lady came to a stop in front of a dark, politely landscaped cottage on North Ogden Drive. In another 2, she was inside and the light was on. When I got to the front door and leaned against the bell, a card over it said that this could be one Rhonda Langley, Mr. Larry Sample's girlfriend. But that same card also gave another name, Helen Palmer, the lady dead in the phone booth. I rang again. When the door opened, it was the brunette, still beautiful. Only this time, something had been added. In her right hand, a .45, ugly and pointed straight at my head.
What do you want?
One straight answer, Miss Langley. Why did you run away from 8700 Magnolia Terrace? And a cop with routine questions.
Wait a minute. Who are you? How do you know my name?
I'm a private detective, labeled Philip Marlowe. Item number 8 on the late Miss Palmer's list. And I know about you because I've already been to Thaddeus Grover's party. Now, after you put this gun away, we'll get back to my question. Why'd you run? Come on, talk, lady, now before I yell copper.
Well, all right. Come in.
Thanks.
Mr. Marlowe, I don't think Helen Palmer's murder was any run-of-the-mill robbery.
You don't think what?
I stayed just long enough to hear the policeman say Helen had been killed.
Oh. When I got to your welcome mat, I was greeted with a .45. Talk some more, Miss Langley. Real plain
Well,
like,
all right,
huh?
give me half a chance, will you? I didn't say anything to the police about this because I don't want to do any damage before I'm sure about a few things.
Like what?
Like the kind of a mess that Helen was in. Mr. Marlowe, I need help. I've got to know some facts. Please, will you work for me? I'll pay you anything.
Well, at this point, let's call anything 25 a day in expenses, huh? What about Helen and the mess you spoke of? How much do you know?
Very little. Only that I think Helen was blackmailing somebody. Somebody who was at the party tonight.
Like Grover, your boyfriend Larry Sample?
I don't know. Oh, you've got to believe me, Mr. Marlowe.
Well, all right. For the time being, I will. Now, first of all, how'd you latch onto this blackmail?
Well, yesterday morning, I accidentally overheard Helen talking to someone on the telephone. She spoke of a payoff that was to be made at Thaddeus's party. I don't know who she was talking to, but she warned the person not to try anything rash.
As in murder?
She didn't say. But she did say that she'd already airmailed a letter to her lawyers in San Francisco that would protect her from any harm. And she laughed about the scheduled scavenger hunt and hung up.
Mm-hmm. You said nothing to her about this, huh?
Well, no, I was afraid...
All right, the letter to San Francisco. Did you see him mail it?
Well, I mailed it myself earlier in the day, along with one of my own.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it until after her call, when she pointedly asked me if I'd remembered to mail a letter. My letter, that is, which she knew that I'd written to an aunt I have in Passaic, New Jersey.
Well?
Well, that's the whole story. If you want me, I'll be over at Thaddeus's place.
Thaddeus?
Yes, he was in love with Helen.
Yeah. Maybe she was returning that love with blackmail. What do you think, Rhonda?
I don't know. The thinking is now your job, Mr. Marlowe.
When I left Rhonda Langley and started back to my car as a bona fide private detective with client, I wasn't sure whether or not I was happy about the whole thing. But a second later, at the sight of a man in the dark ahead, half crouched behind a tree, I quit deliberating the point and got ready for trouble because, from what I could see, the gentleman in hiding had both the curly hair and very short legs that Ibarra had mentioned as a sign of Helen Palmer's killer. I kept walking straight until I was abreast the tree, then I pivoted sharply, took one step toward him, and swung! Come on, brother.
Why, you dirty... We haven't got the time. Believe me.
Enough, fella. Enough. Will you leave me alone?
Sure. Sure I will.
After you start talking. Now, get up.
Okay. Okay, don't hit me again. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. Hey, look there. No, don't! Oh, that lousy note.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, you can do a lot of singing for $14,500, so they say. And tonight, some CBS listener may be able to speak with authority on the subject because $14,500 is what's waiting for whoever can solve the mystery behind the new Phantom Voice on CBS's great Saturday night quiz game, Sing It Again. Listeners from coast to coast will be quizzed by telephone about the new Phantom's identity. And they'll also be given a chance to win one of the other famous prizes for solving the riddle songs which feature Sing It Again's hour of Saturday night fun. Here's Sing It Again on most of these same CBS network stations tonight and every Saturday night. Now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Grim Hunters.
The shots crashed out of the darkness. The life ran out of the little man like air from a kid's balloon. I couldn't figure exactly where the shots had come from, and I stopped trying when a pair of spiked heels clicked fast across the concrete driveway between me and the house. Then a motor started, and a second later, a car roared by with Rhonda Langley at the wheel. I yelled at her to stop as she went by, and ran out in the street after her and yelled again at the retreating car. But she ignored me. When another car came around the curve behind me, I tried to flag it down, but the driver didn't even slow up. So I just stood there while the two cars twisted out of sight down the winding street, leaving nothing but silence and a lot of unanswered questions hanging in midair. I walked back to the corpse, went over it carefully. But there was no identification, nothing but a gun to indicate how he fitted into the screwy mosaic of murder, scavenging, and blackmail. I went inside to call Ibarra, and 5 minutes of tracers, relays, and busy signals went by before I finally got through to him with my news about Helen Palmer's killer.
What? Where are you, Marlowe?
In a house on Ogden Drive, 4310 North. It was shared by Helen Palmer and my new client, Rhonda Langley.
Uh-huh. Did she kill my suspect, Marlowe?
Could be. She left here in a big hurry. Another thing, Ibarra, there's more behind this business than robbery.
Like what?
Like blackmail.
Maybe so. We just found the Palmer's girl handbag in a trash can. Nothing left but a lipstick and 2 letters. Incidentally, one is addressed to your client, Rhonda Langley.
That figures. They shared the house, so Helen happened to pick up the day's mail. What's the other letter?
There was one returned for insufficient postage. They forgot that airmail is 6 cents these days.
Return. Wait a minute. Is that letter addressed to a law firm in San Francisco?
No, it's addressed to Sophie Kilberty.
Sophie Kill who?
Kilberty of Passaic, New Jersey. Why?
Well, Ibarra, listen. Helen was blackmailing somebody, and she covered herself by mailing a letter to her lawyers in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
If that letter was returned for insufficient postage and the blackmail victim knew it, he'd have no qualms about killing her, right?
Sure, but the letters were in Helen's purse.
Oh.
Don't you think she'd have known her protection was gone? Phil, I'm going to put out a pickup call on your client. And you get on down here so we can go over this mess one step at a time.
Where's here?
Still at the gas station on Van Ness off Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay, Barra. How long are you going to be there?
Just until Thaddeus Grover shows up to identify the body and give me some answers personally about that scavenger hunt he threw tonight.
What about this curly-headed corpse I've got here?
Have you gone over him?
Yeah. Nothing but a gun, some small bills on him.
Then he'll keep. I'll expect you in a few minutes.
Okay. So long, Ibarra. When I put down the phone, I was convinced that a big switch was due any minute because finding those letters in Helen Palmer's purse made a lot of sense in one direction and not a bit in another. I could have made more heads and tails by flipping a ball bearing than I got out of the facts Ibarra had given me. Just then, the shadow of a man slid up the walk. I heard a pair of feet mount the stairs, 2 at a time. It was the Wonder Boy executive I'd met at the party. Better hold it right there, Sample.
What? Marlowe. Why the gun?
So the same thing won't happen to me that happened to the dead little guy outside?
Another murder? Marlowe, where's Rhonda? Is she all right?
She left here as fast as an 8-cylinder motor wide open could move just after it happened.
Then it was Rhonda I saw. On my way over here, a speeding car almost crowded me off the road. It looked like Rhonda's, but I wasn't sure. And Marlowe, she was being chased by another car, a fast one.
Chased, are you sure?
Yes. The first car missed me by inches when it swung around a curve. I don't know yet how she made it. Then a second car came along and passed the curve, but it stopped, backed up, and then took the same road Rhonda had taken.
You think she got away?
I don't know.
Well, come on outside, Sample. I want you to take a look at this. By the way, how long have you known Rhonda?
About a year.
Mm-hmm.
She's a brilliant girl, Marlowe. Came out from the East, and I gave her a job as my secretary.
She's more than that now, huh?
I'm in love with her, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Well, Marlowe, I know this man. That's Nate Murdoch. He used to be a foreman with our firm. He left and went back to Atlanta right after Claiborne's death.
Atlanta? Isn't your host Thaddeus Grover from Atlanta?
Yes, he is.
Oh, brother. When did you see Grover last?
Well, the police asked him to go and identify Helen's body. He left the party while the officer was still questioning the rest of us.
Yeah, and on the way, he could have taken time off to drop by here, kill Murdoch, and make a try for Rhonda, too. Come on, let's get to the phone.
But why, Marlowe? Good heavens, Grover's our friend. He and Helen were engaged to be married.
All right, so it doesn't make sense. But his fiancée and his short friend from Atlanta are both dead. And Rhonda's burning the tires off a car to keep out of reach. Those are the facts. Will make sense later. I'll call Grover's place and hurry up.
Yes.
That's where she intended to go when she left here, to console him, no less. Scavenger hunt my Aunt Minnie.
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Grover there? No? Well, has Miss Langley arrived yet? Oh, it's the maid, Marlowe.
Mm-hmm.
Rhonda had... What's that? She's coming up the walk now? Hold the line a minute, please. She just got there, Marlowe. What'll I tell her?
Tell her to leave again. Tell her... No. Where do you live?
4406 Ardmore.
All right. Tell her I said for her to wait outside in the back of the house until you can get over there to pick her up. Take her to your place, and I'll pin Grover down.
Right. Where are you going now?
See Lieutenant Ibarra, and I can get there faster than I can call him on the phone. Good luck, Sample. Sample was repeating my name over to Grover's maid on the phone as I left. And a few minutes later, at the mobile gas station off Hollywood Boulevard, I found Ibarra looking sardonic in the blinking light from a flying red neon horse above his head as he flipped through a stack of papers on top of an oil drum.
It's about time, Marlowe. Where's that client of yours?
Now, wait a minute, Ibarra. I had her pegged all wrong. She's a pigeon. Has Thaddeus Grover been here yet?
Just left. He's quite a character, that guy.
You didn't let him get away alone?
Yes, he was... What do you mean, get away?
Ibarra, there's a big connection between Thaddeus Grover and Murdoch, the guy who killed Helen. Now, Grover might have hired him for the job, and now he's trying to get Rhonda.
Now, Marlowe, how does that figure?
It doesn't, but so help me, Ibarra, that's the way it is.
Well, Grover was heading for his friend Larry Sample's house, and he left. Happened to know where Sample...
Holy smoke, that's exactly where I told Sample to take the girl. 4406 Ardmore.
Well, that's great, Marlowe. They'll all be together in one place. I'll pick up the whole crew in right now.
You're going to pick up the pieces, you mean?
You think there'll be a showdown?
Any minute, Ibarra, it can't miss.
Okay, so we'll take some firepower along. Hemigolda, Gray, let's go. Come on, Phil.
Look, Ibarra, maybe Sample hasn't gotten home with Rhonda yet. I'll go up to Grover's and try to head them off, okay?
Okay, Marlowe. But if you get them before I do, bring them in, and no alibis. I'll see you.
Ibarra was grim as he climbed in his car and drove off fast. I headed for my car. Then, as I turned, my arm swept the scavenger lists Ibarra had left on the oil drum off onto the ground. When I picked them up, Rhonda Langley's name was on top. Her list was as goony as the others, but near the bottom was an item strangely familiar to me, which hadn't been checked off. It was a canceled ticket from Woodhaven Ballroom. All at once, I realized why it was familiar. The sign I'd been half conscious of on top of the big squat building across the street read, Woodhaven Ballroom, closed tonight. On a hunch, I dug for Helen Palmer's list. Yeah, Ibarra was right. Everything but a night watchman's badge and one detective private had been checked off. And that gave me half of the switch I knew I had to show up. I ran to my car and headed for that southern mansion in the Hollywood Hills, the end of a very complicated frolic. And with every turn of the road, I gave myself another whack for being such a nearsighted sucker. When I got there, the big house on Magnolia Terrace was dark, except for a light in the servants' quarters. I stepped down the block, walked back, and edged around to the patio where the garage, the hothouse, and the king-size barbecue loomed only as shapeless lumps of shadow. I stood still and watched. Then I saw him move, walking slowly, gun in hand along the fence toward the hothouse. I started toward him quietly, just as he found out what he was looking for.
Oh, you're clever, my dear. But it's all over now. I know you're in there, so come on out with your hands up.
Oh, no. You're hanging yourself for murder right now, Larry Sample. I've got all the proof I need.
I don't know what good it'll do you, Rhonda. I'll never pay you a cent for it, you blackmailing tramp. I'll kill you first. And that protection letter you wrote to your lawyers was returned, darling. I found it accidentally in Helen's purse tonight at the party. So no one will know. Now, come on out, or I'm going in after you.
I wouldn't try that if I were you, Sample. Marlowe's due here any minute now. He called me and told me.
That was I, dear.
You?
I used his name when I talked to the maid. Oh, I should have done this myself in the first place instead of trusting that stupid Murdoch. Are you going to come out of there?
No, and I've got a gun.
You can't see me, and I know it. But your white dress makes a perfect target, you little fool.
Drop it, Sample.
Oh.
Now let's have that gun.
Marlowe, I'm so glad you got here.
No, he's not dead.
Oh.
And he won't be from bullets. Give me your gun, too, huh? Come on.
All right. I was too scared to use it anyway.
Thanks. Now sit down and shut up. We're going to wait for Lieutenant Ibarra, then you're both going to the pokey.
What? But...
Listen, you, I don't go for blackmailers, male or female. Even the cute one's a ugly lady. Very ugly.
No, Phil, wait. You've got to understand something. 2 years ago, Larry Sample killed his partner, Joshua Claiborne. I knew it, but I couldn't prove it. So I pretended I could and blackmailed him. Don't you see, if he paid off or tried to kill me, that would be proof of his guilt. And he did, Marlowe.
Mm-hmm. Why should you pull a stunt like that?
I'm a divorcee, Marlowe. Langley is only my married name.
Okay, so what?
My maiden name was Claiborne.
Claiborne?
I'm Josh Claiborne's daughter.
Oh.
And I can prove that. That reason enough?
Well, why didn't you level with me instead of labeling Helen a blackmailer?
Helen was already dead, and I needed your help desperately. I thought I had to lie to get it. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, baby.
Anyone care for more coffee? How about you, Lieutenant?
Oh, no thanks, Mr. Grover. Well, Marlowe, you got it all to come out even anyway. Frankly, that's more than I expected when I left you at that gas station.
Yeah, we were lucky, Ibarra. I guess I owe you an apology, Mr. Grover.
Oh, shucks, that's all right, son. It was a shock to me to be accused of poor Helen's murder, but, well, it's over now.
Yeah.
You said it was the scavenger list that set you straight. How'd you figure that, boy?
Well, there was a Woodhaven ballroom ticket on Rhonda's list, so she had to go there for the ticket, you see. Now, Sample knew that. And he told his killer, Murdoch, who incidentally he hired to murder Claiborne 2 years ago, that the girl who went to the Woodhaven ballroom was his target.
Uh-huh.
But Helen happened to go there after the night watchman's badge.
Which he could have picked up any place in town.
Yeah.
What a terrible coincidence for Helen. That was all that saved my life, really.
That's right, honey. Murdoch made the mistake, and when he and Sample discovered it, they made another try at Rhonda's house.
But I caught Murdoch there, so Sample shot him before he could talk.
And when I left, he followed me in his car. I knew they were after me, and I thought for sure they'd killed you, Phil. That's why I ran.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop. Then Sample came back to make sure that Murdoch was dead and sold me a great big bill of goods at the same time.
Oh, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yes, Mr. Grover, it is.
Lieutenant, I want to thank you personally for your participation.
Thank you very much. Well, I've got everything I need, so I'll say good night.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Phil.
Yeah?
Shall I mail you a check?
Why, yes, I think... No. Wait a minute.
Yes?
You know, honey, with your knowledge of postal rates, why don't you just deliver it in person, maybe, huh?
Love to. Count on it, Mr. Marlowe. Good night.
I drove down from the Hollywood Hills with a check warming my wallet and the echo of a soft invitation warming my imagination. You know, that was quite a party at Grover's house. Scavenger hunt. People determined to have a good time even if it killed them. You know what? It did. I know another game. Associations. It goes like this. Grover's party. Rhonda Langley. Rhonda... Date. I wonder if she likes baseball.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, star Gerald Mohr, and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Ellen Reed, Mary Shipp, Jack Moyles, Richard Benedict, and Lorette Philbrandt. Lieutenant Detective Ibarra is played by Jeff Corey. The special music is by Richard Orant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
They were born on the same hour on the same day of the same parents, and they were identical in beauty and talent. Only one was deadly, and the other was not. And I couldn't tell which was which until I found a green purse, a fresh corpse, and a pair of dancing hands.
If you happened to miss Jack Benny's hilarious show last week featuring the Ronald Colemans, you missed the laugh treat of the year. But Jack will be back again tomorrow on these same CBS network stations with his entire gang, including Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, Don Wilson, and the Sportsman's Quartet. Invite some friends over. Sit back and enjoy the Jack Benny Show tomorrow. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where 99 million people gather every week, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
A corpse that wouldn't stay dead. A pistol with a silencer on it and a fortune in a black satchel. Spelled death for the big city boys when they finally got together in Lonesome, Arizona. Population, 802.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. And now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Lonesome Reunion.
At 8,000 feet on a clear afternoon, you can see enough Arizona real estate to become an authority on the subject. And as I huddled around a circle of window aboard an American Airlines flagship and gaped like a 2 weeks with pay vacationer at the carpet of sand, stone, and cactus unrolling a slow inch at a time below, I was impressed. Also, I was thinking about a job which was providing both the switch and scenery and 2 crisp $100 bills, less the cost of a round-trip ticket from L.A. to the capital city of Phoenix. But then, at the thought of money, I stopped sightseeing and started to think about the work ahead and how easy it had sounded that morning in my office when Kay Gordon, who was something pretty and blonde but slightly tarnished for 28, had hired me, all in one breath.
Marlowe, my brother Joe Gordon is in a room at the Granada Court Hotel in Phoenix, Arizona. In one hand, he no doubt has his usual smelly cigar. In the other, a small suitcase filled with a mess of papers, all legal, all proper. You fly there, pick up the suitcase, fly back. For that, $200 cash. Yes or no?
Yes, on one condition. The papers, do I get to see them? If I look, I go.
All right, you look.
Good, I go. Goodbye. That was the way it had started an hour after breakfast. Lunch was alone and at the airport. Dinner would wait until I'd seen Mr. Joe Gordon, a man who was willing to pay a lot for a little. My plane dropped out of the sky over Phoenix gently at 3. At 3:15, I was in room 111 of the Granada Hotel and only 36 smelly inches away from the usual cigar. The man behind it was heavy, pale, and maybe 40. And like his sister, Joe Gordon was overbearing in a hurry.
This, Marlowe, is the bag. These, the papers. Stocks, bonds, and mortgages. In themselves, worthless to anyone else. They're non-negotiable. But as information to my competitors, they're priceless. Satisfied?
More or less.
Meaning what?
Exactly what is your line, Mr. Gordon?
Oh, I'm a broker. One who bets on long shots. When they come in, I don't like to split with the boys who sit on their hands. Anything else?
Yeah. I've got some time to kill before I fly back. Do I take the bag now or later?
You take the bag now, Marlowe.
Okay.
And, don't let go of it until you're with my sister in L.A. I'm paying you money to stay away from my enemies, not to shop for trinkets. Oh, and incidentally, my enemies also play rough. So watch your step and act smart. Real smart.
I still had 2 hours to kill when Gordon locked the bag and handed it to me after dropping the key in his pocket. So I decided to take a room there at the Granada Hotel, shave, shower, and stretch. The sleepy clerk in the lobby was not in a hurry, nor did he hear anything I said the first time. So when I finally got to my suite on the second floor, which had as much elbow room as the inside of a lifesaver, 30 of the idle minutes were already gone. I locked and bolted the door, checked all the windows carefully, and then peeled off my shirt, broke out my shave master, and reached for the knob on the bathroom door. But I never made it. Because as the door swung open, I caught a glimpse of a fist the size of a cantaloupe starting from my jaw. Oh!
Now, stay right there, Buster. The first time I swing, the second time I shoot, and I do both good.
Equal nice, huh? Everything all figured out ahead of time.
Yeah, but it ain't very hard, Marlowe. Especially when the guy you're after shouts it all to a desk clerk.
My error.
Yeah, which leaves just the 3 of us. Real cozy like.
3?
You, me, and 120 grand here in this bag.
You're way off base, brother. This bag's got papers in it, nothing more. They belong to a businessman. I said something?
Yeah, sure. Very funny. Look, Buster, Joe Gordon's no more a businessman, and his real name is Joe Gordon. So after I leave, you go back to Sam Dietrich in room 111 and tell him that Marty Stopka says thanks.
For what?
For the $120,000 I've been waiting 2 long years for. And also tell him and Gigi Ganther, who might still be around, that Stopka had it all figured. Like you say, Marlowe, ahead of time.
I don't follow you, bud.
You're not supposed to. Just turn around, face the wall, and listen carefully. You tell Sam Dietrich that I knew he'd pull something like this just as soon as he got back into circulation. You got that?
Yeah. Word for word, Stopka.
Good. Now all you have to do is remember.
When Marty Stopka said remember, he put that cantaloupe with fingers in the small of my back and shoved hard. By the time I got to my feet again, both he and the black bag were gone. That made Joe Gordon or Sam Dietrich my best bet. So I took the stairs to the ground floor fast and raced for the end of the corridor in room 111. But when I threw the unlocked door open, I found something I hadn't counted on. A curtain flapping in the breeze of an open window and nothing more. The desk drawers, the closet, the bureau empty. And on an end table next to the telephone, a bus schedule unmarked. At that, I was beginning to get very mad at a private detective but public patsy named Philip Marlowe. Then the telephone rang, and when I answered it, the operator said that she had a long-distance call for Joe Gordon. I said thanks, I'd take it. Hello?
Sam, this is Kay. Marlowe?
Yeah, honey, Joe Marlowe is in Brother Gordon, remember?
Oh, I can explain all that, Marlowe.
Oh, sure, baby. But not now, later. Later, after you've had a chance to think up a few more lies.
All right. So I didn't tell you the whole story. What's the difference? Did you get the bag?
I did, but I didn't get to keep it very long. Something ugly named Stopka wanted either it or my life, so I made a quick decision.
Stopka has the bag. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, isn't it, though?
What?
One thing, baby. I'm the decoy with suitcase for some kind of shenanigan that's wrapped around 120 grand, which you and Sam Dietrich have. And there's a trio in the act. Namely, Sam Dietrich, Marty Stopka, and one Gigi Ganther.
Gigi? Marlowe, have you seen Gigi? Have you, Marlowe?
Maybe yes, maybe no. Now, why don't you come clean? Admit you're happy that Stopka got the suitcase from me while Sam beat it out of an open window. That my part of the job is over with. Come on, baby, talk.
All right. I'll make it short and to the point. You got $200 for doing nothing. Out of that, 60-odd went for an airplane ticket. The rest is yours, right?
Go on.
There's no need to, Marlowe. I'm finished, and so are you. So why don't you just be a good fella and keep the change? So long, sucker.
When Kay Gordon hung up, I slammed the phone down, counted 10 twice. I went back to the unhappy business of getting mad at Marlowe. But again, I was interrupted. This time, it was a newspaper, the Phoenix Herald, sticking far enough out of the wastebasket under the telephone to expose the dateline, which made it exactly a week old. I picked it up and saw the 2 inches of story circled in pencil and slugged. 5 released from state penitentiary. Sam Dietrich, 41 of Los Angeles, who was arrested in Lonesome, Arizona for the armed robbery of a general store in February 1947, also was released today. Now everything was beginning to add, with one high-priced exception. Very few general stores in towns called Lonesome keep $120,000 in the till, even on a busy day. So I headed for the office of the Phoenix Herald and the chance that I could learn something about the cash involved from newspapers that were 2 years better than 1 week old. 30 minutes later, I was in the back shop of the Herald receiving facts willingly supplied by a sandy-haired linotype operator with a sad face who had never heard the word forget.
That's right, mister. It was the Second National Bank and Land Company here in town. Held up at 1:10 p.m., February 7, 1947, by 3 men who took $120,000 in unmarked 10s, 20s, and 50s. One was badly wounded in a running gunfight, but they all got away clean.
No arrests, no suspects?
Other than the usual rigmarole of trying to pin the job on every two-bit stick-up man hauled in the next 6 months, no. Anything else?
No, thanks. I don't think... Say, wait a minute. Lonesome, Arizona, that unmarked bus schedule. Tell me, do you happen to know where something called Lonesome is? And if so, how a guy could get there if he doesn't have a car?
Sure. It's 87 miles west of here, and the bus will do the trick. But not anymore today.
Oh.
The only bus left an hour ago. Now, young fella, you tell me something. What in Sam Hill is Lonesome and a bus departure got to do with a bank robbery was pulled 2 years ago?
Where I stand right now, Dad, I can't say. But when I get to Lonesome, ask me again. I may have the answer for you. I was 30 minutes renting a car and an hour and 30 minutes getting to Lonesome. Population 802. I drove without seeing anything that could possibly be mistaken for Sam Dietrich. And I was about to turn back when I saw something that brought my right foot down hard on the brake. It was a brand new green Nash standing outside a motel. California license plate. I got out of my car and got a look at the registration card wrapped around the steering wheel. It said Catherine E. Gordon. The motel only had 3 cabins that showed any light. The first belonged to the manager and the second to Kay. Close to an open window, I saw the man Kay was talking to. He was an ex-convict and part-time broker named Sam Dietrich.
All right. So Marlowe knows he was set up for Marty Stopka. Who cares? We're here, and so far Stopka isn't. And if and when he does show, we'll be gone. But the real black bag's safe in our hands.
Yes, but what about Gigi, Sam? I told you Marlowe mentioned his name.
And I told you to forget it. Marlowe must have been swinging in the dark. Gigi can't be alive, Kay. He was badly hurt when Stopka and I got clear of the bank.
But why wasn't his body found?
I don't know, Kay. I've told you that 1,000 times. Now, look, honey, why don't you just relax and think of us a little, huh? Gigi's dead, baby. There's only you and me.
Sam, you know how I feel about that. I love Gigi. It's the only reason I'm helping you. I don't want anything to do with this money. I only want to know for sure about Gigi.
Okay. Did you get a line on Leland Mills, the name that was on that mailbox 2 years ago?
Yes. He owns the place and lives there alone. A once upon a time small ranch on the last block in town, coming apart at the seams.
Mm-hmm. What about Mills himself?
He's an old duffer, maybe 50. Lives close to the fireside, day in and day out.
Good. That means I can handle him without any trouble. And now, look, baby, it's 7 now. At 9, this town will be fast asleep, and at 10, I'll take care of everything. So, why don't you just curl up there on the couch and think about nice things? Huh?
Oh, nice things like what?
Well, like the money I hid at Leland Mills' place 5 hours after the boys and I took that bank. The $120,000 that's soon going to be back here with me where it belongs.
Dad, I took my cue and left because one, Leland Mills was a man to be forewarned, while 10 o'clock was still 3 hours away. I was 10 minutes finding his place, which was on the edge of town, and another 2 locating the doorbell, which was the kind you pull to start a bunch of jingling inside. It was 3 pulls later before the door creaked slowly open, and what had to be Leland Mills stood in front of me. He was shaggy, gray hair curling on the sides of his neck, a face with 1,000 crisscrossed wrinkles and dirty old clothes. Everything I'd expected with one exception. Gripped firmly in both hands and pointed directly at my head was a long rifle.
Who are you?
Mr. Mills?
Maybe.
Well, I'm a private detective named Philip Marlowe, also someone who knows that there's $120,000 in cash hidden here on your grounds.
$120,000?
To the penny, yes. 2 years ago, Mr. Mills, a Phoenix bank was robbed by 3 toughs named Dietrich, Stopka, and Gigi Ganther.
Gigi? That's a queer name.
It's not important, old man, but this is. Now, somehow or other, that stolen money was hidden here, in or around your place. And tonight, one of those men is due back to collect. That, of course, means trouble for you.
You think we should call the law?
No, not yet. If we play it smart, we can get the dough spotted first in at least one of the 3.
All right, Mr. Marlowe. If you're sure of what you're saying, I only hope you are. Oh, I'm sorry about this gun here. I don't like poachers on my land.
Yeah, we all have our pet peeves. Now, Mr. Mills, I want you to sit tight till I get back, and no matter what happens, don't open that door for anyone. Have you got that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Where are you going?
To town. To check on the only 2 things that can possibly give us any unexpected trouble. One a nasty man named Marty Stopka, and the other a guy I've never even seen. The elusive Mr. Gigi Ganther.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of the adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, that elusive phantom voice will be back on CBS's great show, Sing It Again, tonight. And the prize for identifying him has now climbed to a value of $24,500. Yes, for music, suspense, and sensational prizes. Don't miss the Sing It Again show tonight over most of these same CBS stations. And now, with Gerald Mohr starred, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Lonesome Reunion.
I left Leland Mills standing in the doorway and worried my way back to town. If Stopka and Gigi Ganther had no more trouble getting to Lonesome than I did, a reunion about as quiet as a truckload of hot dynamite was due to take place any minute. I passed the motel where Kay and Dietrich had holed up and saw that her car had been moved into the stall between cabins and draped with a blanket to hide its California plates. So they were thinking along the same line that I was. At the hub of town, I parked and started to case the lively spots on Main Street, which took me all of 10 minutes at a slow walk. But a short side-of-the-mouth conversation with a couple of resident sports revealed that the local underground stemmed from the Red Dog Cafe, a warped wood 2-story wickiup on the one side street in town. It was operated by a hard-bitten blonde, 160 pounds of Western motif, complete with Stetson, red flannel shirt, Hickok belt, blue jeans, and the name, Flora. She sat at a table at the back of the barroom, lending a cynical ear to nobody else but my old pal, Stopka. I walked up behind him, and when he turned around, I hung one on him. A good one!
Hey! Stop here, jackass! What do you think you're doing?
Sorry, Flora, nothing personal.
Now that's enough! Now stop it, you hear me? No rough hustling my joint. Come on, handsome, I mean you.
Me? Why, Flora, how can you say that? I just came in to ask my old pal here some questions, that's all. Here we go, pal. Come on, sit up in that chair.
Okay, leave me alone.
See, Flora? It's the only way Stopka here knows how to start a conversation.
Bring him another beer, will you? His old one got spilled.
Sure, bright boy. When you see the you dude tourists leave your beefs outside next time.
Now, look, Stopka. I want to know what happened 2 years ago on that highway out here. You guys split up, didn't you? You better talk, Stopka.
All right, we split up. The heat was on bad, and Gigi was half dead already from a cop slug in his back.
Dietrich had all the dough, right?
What do you think? I left him and Gigi off outside of town. I took the car to try to suck the cops away from him. We were supposed to meet later.
But you kept going to save your own hide, didn't you?
Certainly. It's going to pay off, sucker. You'll see.
Uh-huh. Since the money was never found, you figured Dietrich hid it around here, and he's coming back to dig it up. Is that it?
Keep guessing, Chalmers.
Maybe we ought to loosen your jaw again, Stopka.
That's all, you two! Now turn loose of him, handsome, and by Sadie, I'll plug you.
Well, a real genuine 44. What museum did you swipe that from, Flora?
Never mind. Got a legal right to defend the peace and quiet of my joint, and after 22 years in this dodge, I know how to do it. Now, I asked you nice once, now I'm telling you. You, get out. That back door there.
Yeah, sure, I'll go, sister. And thanks for nothing.
Hey, wait a minute, Flora. Don't let that lug get away.
Shut up! Now, you sit down right there and count up to 50. Then you leave by the front, quietly.
Okay, you win. 1, 2, 3... Flora, look out, he's back.
What?
Sorry, Eddie.
You buzzard bait!
I'll leave this cannon on the back steps. So long, Flora. I beat it out the back door and into an alleyway between the shacks. Stopka was still in sight, but walking fast, and when I took after him, he saw me and started to run. There was a hard, flat sound, like someone striking wet sand with a hammer. Stopka faltered and lurched up on his toes as if he'd suddenly changed his mind about running. At the same instant, on a wall, even with him, I saw the shadow of a man, holding a pistol with a long, awkward barrel. The hard, flat sound came again. Stopka curled up on himself and fell. And the shadow slid off the wall and disappeared. I ran for the wounded man, but by the time I got to him, there was no trace of the gunman. I rolled Stopka over. He was hit hard, slipping away fast.
Silence. Gigi always used a silencer. That punk Gigi.
You're dead, huh? You wise guys never know when to quit, do you? You're in real trouble now, handsome.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't do this.
How come I couldn't hear the shots, a silencer?
Yeah, that's right. Trademark of a guy named Gigi Ganther. All I saw of him was his shadow on that wall there. Say, what kind of law have you got in this town, Flora?
None. Except the highway patrol, they stop in every night.
Okay, call him. Get him over here. This guy's Marty Stopka, wanted for a bank job, nearly 2 years old.
No kidding. Who are you, his trainer?
I'm a private detective who's got no business here, except I don't like to be pushed around. Now, listen, do you know Leland Mills' place at the edge of town?
Sure.
Well, you get the cops out to Mills' place by 10:30, do you understand? That's where the big attraction's going to be, if I can keep Gigi and his silencer from interfering again. Now, let me down, beautiful.
I won't let you down, handsome. For a city boy, you're all right.
I stuck to a back road and drove with my lights out until I was a good, safe distance beyond Leland Mills Ranch. Then I hid the car in a dry gully and walked back. The house was dark and still, and I thought once of what might have happened to Mills if Gigi had gotten there ahead of me. I kept in the shadows and worked my way across the yard to the back door.
Who's there?
Marlowe, open up.
I was beginning to worry. It's pretty near 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Seen anybody so far?
No. Nope, not a soul. Been watching close, too. Did you find them men, that G, that Stopka?
Yeah. Stopka's dead and his killer's due to show up here any time now.
Oh.
We're going to have our hands full. Wait a minute, is that a car?
Sure sounds like one. Yep. There, you can just make it out. Turned in down by the culvert and stopped.
Yeah. I think a man got out. Yeah, there he goes, across the field there behind your shed. It's Dietrich. I'm going out now, Mills. You stay here.
No, I'm going too. That fellow's heading right for my water tank.
All right, he's heading for your water tank. Don't get excited. You'll tip our mitt. Now, get this, Mills. You've got to stay here and watch for Gigi. He's bound to show up, and when he does, you better have that rifle of yours handy because he's a killer. You understand?
Yep. Sure, I understand. Don't worry, Marlowe. I'll keep my eyes open. Don't you worry about a thing.
Out of the door and started across the yard. I knew I was getting myself out on a nice, long limb.
Leland Mills was about as reliable as William Tell with their hiccups, and the apple was on my head. It was too late to back up, so I skirted the barn, stayed below the crest of a low rise, and moved toward the elevated water tank until I heard a shovel biting dirt. I got a comfortable grip on my gun and headed up over the rise to where I could see. Yeah, it was Dietrich, all right. He was bent over under the tank and working on a hole as if his life depended on it. He didn't even look up until I was almost on top of him.
Who is it? Who's there? Who is it?
Me, Mr. Gordon. Marlowe.
Marlowe? How did you get here?
Wasn't easy, Sammy boy. But I had to come and apologize for losing your precious bag full of waste paper.
You sure picked a dangerous time to show, sucker. You were fired once. Too bad you can't take a hint.
Uh-huh. And being tagged as a patsy is lousy for my business, Dietrich. You should have thought of that. So just leave your hands on that shovel handle, Sam, and keep on digging. Maybe I'll let you take a peek at that 120 grand before I turn you both over to the police. Go on, dig.
No. Not so fast, Marlowe.
Mills, I told you to stay in the... Hey, that's quite a pistol.
Don't move. Neither one of you. I'll kill you if you move. You, Marlowe, drop your gun. Drop it. So this is where it's been all the time. $120,000. I've looked everywhere, every day, for 2 whole years, but I never thought of looking here under the water tank.
You mean you knew where the money was all the time? You lie, you lie. I'm the only one that knew that.
Oh, no. One night 2 years ago, I heard a noise in my barn. It was a man groaning. I looked in and I saw him. He was wounded. And I saw you when you come back from burying the money. I overheard the whole thing. You wouldn't tell them where you'd hidden it. You said you'd never tell anybody. But I was sure I could find it, and I looked everywhere except...
Yeah, Mills, everywhere except here, under the water tank, where you buried Gigi's body after you killed him. And with his own gun at that.
Oh, no, I didn't kill him. Dietrich here did. I only buried him so nobody would find out that him and Dietrich had stopped at my place. I almost went crazy looking for that money, but now I know where it is, and I'm going to have it.
Oh, you fool. You don't think I'd come out here with nothing but a shovel, do you? A friend of mine is right behind you with a gun in her hand. Now, come on, drop yours, Rube. Come on, drop it. All right. Kay.
That's an old trick, Dietrich.
Let him have it. Shoot, Kay, shoot.
Didn't work, did it? I knew I'd have to kill you sometime anyway if you ever came back, so...
You fool, Mills. I suppose that makes me next.
Yep, Mr. Marlowe. I think it does.
Think again, Mr. Mills.
What? Who's that? Kay. You were there all the time, and Dietrich wasn't bluffing.
Oh, I love you, Kay, baby. And I'll take the gun now, Mills. Turn it loose. Come on, I'll break your arm. There. That's better. I'll look after this gun until the police get here.
And look after this one, too, Marlowe. I haven't got the courage to use it anyway. I couldn't even shoot Sam Dietrich with it. He's the one I wanted to use it on.
Why? Because of Gigi?
Yeah, because he killed Gigi and lied to me. I promised to help Dietrich only because I figured all 3 of them would show up here, Sam, Stopka, and Gigi. That way I hoped I'd find him again.
You were right, baby. All 3 of them did show up. Only this time they finished their job. For good. It was 10:30 on the nose when we got back to the house. And the highway patrol had just pulled up. So the question and answer period started, and by the time it was over, all the field work finished up. 4 hours plus had gone by. It took some fast conversation and a lot of promises to stay handy, but finally, Kay was left with me. After all, her only real mistake had been falling in love with the wrong kind of a guy. When the last patrol car drove away, the desert was suddenly very still. The stars were small and sharp in the clear sky. The air was cold. Maybe that was why Kay Gordon trembled.
Marlowe, I'm sorry about all this. I got you into it, remember?
Mm-hmm. You also got me out of it, Kay.
Well, I can forget about Gigi, now that I know for sure what happened. And all because of a jerk named Leland Mills.
No, Mills was a desperate guy, Kay. After he buried Gigi, he just about went nuts trying to find the money. When he finally realized Dietrich was the only one who could lead him to it, he shot Stopka and would have killed anybody else, keep him from interfering with Dietrich until he uncovered the hiding place.
You know, in a way, Marlowe, it was a horrible trick of fate. They both picked the same place to bury things.
Not really. Mills and Dietrich had the same jobs to do, under the same conditions. They each had to bury something in a hurry and in the dark. So both of them picked a spot where the ground was soft and one that was clearly marked at the same time, under the water tank.
Yeah. And it... Marlowe, I'm kind of scared. I don't like this place. This spooky little town. It's the end of nowhere.
Yeah. I wouldn't be caught dead here myself. Let's go, baby. I walked Kay to her car, started her safely on her way.
So long, sucker.
She waved once, then drove down the road and out of sight without looking back. Soon even the sound of the motor was gone. A long night, and a strange reunion. And now 2 lonely lights were the only sign of life in Lonesome, Arizona. I stood on the empty highway for a few minutes and listened to the immense quiet of the desert. Then I went back to my rented car and headed for Phoenix and a plane for home.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, stars Gerald Mohr, and is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Joan Banks, Edgar Barrier, Virginia Gregg, Jeff Chandler, Bill Boucher, and Jack Crucian. The special music is by Richard Orant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
It was a weird racket that mushroomed in a world of gaudy canvas, and the man with purple hair, the inquisitive midget, and the lady with strong hands each played a part. But all that was only a sideshow when death got into the act.
Across the nation, communities and the parents of Boy Scouts are observing Boy Scout Week, agreeing with the boys themselves that adventure, that's scouting. Now stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these same CBS network stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
There was a man with a bad heart, a telephone number scribbled on a cash register receipt, and a corpse on the other side of town. But I couldn't see the connection between them until I realized that they were all tied together by the same long rope worth $30,000.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Long Rope.
I'd finally wound up a sour case in which I'd been kicked around, disillusioned, and shortchanged. And in my book, a routine like that calls for relaxation. So I'd spent the morning sleeping and the afternoon in a Turkish bath, being worked over on the table by Nick Takalakis, a non-talking masseur who untied knots in more muscles than I thought I had. He was trying to tear loose my Achilles tendon when the phone rang. It was for me. Nick wouldn't let me up, so I took it lying down. Yeah? Marlowe speaking?
My name is Sidney Vanetta, Mr. Marlowe. I've tried all afternoon to reach you.
Oh? Nick, what can I do for you, Mr. Vanetta?
I've already made your reservation with American Airlines. You're leaving on the 10 o'clock plane tonight, and you're taking with you a set of pearls for a certain buyer in Chicago.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Vanetta. Maybe I can...
No, maybe, Marlowe. I've checked thoroughly on you and find you entirely qualified, which is important because The pearls are a perfectly matched set in a rope valued at about $30,000. The buyer wants them, and I made up my mind just this morning to sell. The proceeds will go to my niece.
Lucky girl.
Indeed she is, particularly since I have no respect for her as a woman. She presumes to be a sculptress of all things, but she's my only heir. I'm selling the pearls simply because I know she would, and I can get more for them.
Yeah, Hey, Nick, wait a minute, will you? Why all the hurry, Mr. Vanetta?
First, the buyer is leaving Chicago tomorrow. Second, my heart may fail me at any moment. That's the hurry, Mr. Marlowe.
I see. Well, I'll take the job, conditionally. But suppose I come out and talk with you. Telephones are deceptive.
Very well. Come to 7241 Adams, just below Western. I'll expect you in an hour, at 6, sharp. Side door will be open, so let yourself in.
Sounds like you're alone out there.
I am. I just fired my nurse, a Miss Drew, and as stupid a woman as the earth was ever cursed. But I shouldn't get excited about it. I've engaged a new one, due here at 5:30, but who will no doubt be late. So as I say, Marlowe, when you get here, just let yourself in. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, Nick, you better hurry it up. I gotta see a man about a rope worth $30,000. Yeah, that's right. A rope worth $30,000. Vanetta's place on Adams was a big, fancy, and dirty gray place. 40 years ago, it had been a proud, expensive house. But now it squatted at the back end of a rundown yard like a bitter old man too tired to move. I found the side door unlocked and went in. The hallway was dusky and had the odor of moldy wool. I called Vanetta's name but got no answer. So I poked on in until I heard the snapping of an open fire. It came from the library. A big chair was drawn up in front of the fireplace, and there Vanetta sat, his chin sunk deep in his chest and his eyes closed. I coughed, but he didn't hear me, so I stepped close and shook him gently by the shoulder. All it took was a gentle shake. He sagged forward and poured out of the chair like stiff syrup. Mr. Vanetta was dead. I started for the phone to report the body, but then I heard gravel crunch in the driveway. Someone else was coming in that side door, so I stepped out into the hall and waited.
Mr. Vanetta, it's... Oh. Who are you?
Philip Marlowe. Who are you?
Steve Temple. I'm Mr. Vanetta's business agent.
You're on business now?
Yes, I am. It's all the same to you. I came to see Mr. Vanetta regarding some pearls. So if you'll excuse... Oh.
Yeah, the pearls can wait. Their owner's dead.
So it finally happened, huh?
You're taking the news very well, Temple.
I've been expecting it every day for 5 years. You found him, I suppose?
We had an appointment at 6. He wanted me to fly his pearls to Chicago. What are you staring at, Temple?
Why, there's a bottle of medicine here.
What about it?
For years, he's kept this stuff beside him in case of an attack. Yet, when he actually needed it, it was over here on the sideboard out of his reach. Ironic, isn't it?
Very. He fired Miss Drew, his old nurse, today, and didn't expect the new one until 5:30. Say, do you happen to know her name?
No one. You mean he's engaged a new nurse?
That's right. She's an hour late already.
Yeah. Well, for once, that doesn't matter to Mr. Vanetta.
Say, Temple, are you acquainted with his niece?
Vivian Russell? Of course. She's a sculptress. There's a studio out on Fountain, near Bronson, I believe.
She was to get the proceeds from the pearls.
Well, I assumed that, although nothing was ever said. She's his only heir.
Where would those pearls be now?
I kept them in a wall safe behind that picture there. Consistently against my advice.
Yeah, sure. Opens with a key. Where would that be?
He carried it with him on his watch chain. Why? Hey, what are you going to do?
I'll take a look at the pearls and then have them impounded. Yeah, this must be the key. Now, let's open it up.
He's there, that velvet case.
As big as an overnight bag. Must be some string of beads.
It is, Marlowe. Here, let me open it. There. Right. It's nothing but tissue paper.
Yeah. It's not too surprising. While Temple called the police and tried to keep the details straight on a natural death and an unnatural theft, I went over the room again with a new viewpoint. All that turned up without an easy explanation was one, a cash register receipt for $1.34 with the phone number Republic 2809 penciled on the back.
and 2, the peculiar position of Mr. Vanetta's medicine bottle, which Temple had already noticed. I dropped the receipt in my pocket and told Temple to wait for the law. He gave me his home address and phone number, and I promised to check in with him later and left. The first stop was a phone booth where I dug into the nurses' registries and hit pay dirt on the 4th call.
Miss Drew? Yes, we have a Miss Drew.
Is she the one who worked for Mr. Sidney Vanetta but was fired this afternoon?
That's his opinion. Actually, Miss Drew quit.
All right, have it your way. Where can I get in touch with her?
She's right here where she's been since 3 o'clock this afternoon. What is the nature of your business, sir?
Never mind. You've already answered my question. But look, Mr. Vanetta hired another nurse to replace Miss Drew. Is the new girl one of yours?
Absolutely not. Mr. Vanetta will never get another nurse from this registry or from any other that I know of.
You're so right.
He's utterly impossible to please in any way, and we're through trying. Goodbye.
Well, Miss Drew was in the clear. Vanetta began to focus as a pretty odd Johnny. But I was still trying to figure why the new nurse hadn't shown up when I reached for a cigarette and brought out the cash register receipt with the phone number on the back. So I tried it. Republic 2809. It rang, but nothing happened. I got in my car then and drove up to Hollywood and out Fountain to Bronson, where the only Vanetta heir, Miss Vivian Russell, had a studio. It was a converted double garage with a lot of north windows, so her new close-to-the-ground Hudson sat outside in the driveway. The adjoining 4-room apartment looked cozy enough, if you liked wading through chunks of marble and eating off of last week's newspaper. Yeah, I was braced for a dowdy Amazon with broken fingernails as I rang the bell. That's why the dainty 118 pounds of taboo-scented blonde, who was clad in tan chartreuse yards of whispering silk cut like lounging pajamas, caught me as flat-footed as a duck when she opened the door.
Hi. Did you want something?
Yes. Yeah. My name is Marlowe. I'd like to speak to Miss Vivian Russell.
You are. So go ahead and enjoy yourself, Marlowe.
May I come inside? I have some bad news, Miss Russell.
Oh, sure. Come on in. Now, shall I sit down or just hang on to something?
Suit yourself. Your uncle, Mr. Vanetta, died this afternoon.
Oh, his heart finally gave up, did it, huh?
Yeah, but you shouldn't go all to pieces like that, Vivian.
Now, wait. He meant nothing to me, but I'm glad his suffering is over.
The pearls are missing, too.
Well, really? What happened to them?
They were stolen. And don't tell me that means nothing to you, because you're getting the money, $30,000 worth.
What? Uncle Sidney intended to give me the money from those pearls? How do you know that?
I'm a private detective. He told me he was my client.
Oh, then you're out of a job. Say, how would you like to work for me, Marlowe? I'm serious. Now I want those pearls back, you know.
Now, for $25 a day in expenses, it's a deal. Now, you tell me something. Who did your uncle hire today to replace Miss Drew?
The nurse? Why, I didn't even know Miss Drew had been fired.
How did you know she didn't quit?
With Uncle Sidney? Try me again.
Republic 2809.
That doesn't mean a thing. You know, Marlowe, you've got an awfully good head.
Are you speaking as a sculptress or just an ordinary chiseler?
And what is that crack supposed to mean?
You didn't know you were getting the money legally. You might have taken the pearls yourself.
Oh, stop it, Marlowe.
Okay, client. Well, I'll run along. I've got work to do.
All right, but don't forget that all work and no play makes for a dull companion.
Yes, and it also makes $25 a day. I'll be seeing you. All the way down Sunset to Vine Street, I kept telling myself $1's a buck, regardless. But the idea that I'd been grabbed at stayed with me. Vivian Russell had plenty of motive as a dry land pearl diver, and if that's true, she'd need a patsy just to keep her abreast of the situation. I turned north on Vine and twisted up Beechwood Drive to 2000, the number Steve Temple had given me. He had had 2 hours of playing 20 questions policeman style, and I figured it was time to check his score. Also, Temple was the man to fill in a few blanks on my new client for me. His place was dark, but I got out anyway and started up the walk to his door. I'd gone about a dozen steps into a tunnel of overhanging shrubs when I heard it.
Psst. Hey, you.
I turned as a man stepped out onto the walk and came toward me slowly. He was tall, wiry, with a thin, arrogant face that sneered out from under an expanse of forehead big enough for 3 sets of eyebrows. All shaggy.
We're gonna have a talk, Mr. Temple. Hey, you're not Temple.
Now we both know that. I'm a friend of his. What do you want with Temple?
I've got a message for him, but it's personal.
Who from?
Like I say, it's personal, mister. I'll be back later.
Come here. I said I'm a friend of Temple's. If you got a message for him, I'll see that he gets it.
Well, okay, then. Tell him that some of his friends are too blasted nosy.
Go! guy with the forehead had a great left jab and a pair of hurdler's legs, and by the time I untangled myself from the brush and got out on the walk again, he was gone. Well, I knew it was a waste of time, but I tried Temple's doorbell twice before I went back to my car. Nothing made sense, except that somebody who knew his way around had stolen a long rope of pearls, and somewhere in the city was a nurse who hadn't shown up on a new job. Beyond that, it was all question marks. Well, I drove down to the filling station on the corner and went inside to the phone. I started to call police headquarters, but instead dropped the nickel in and dialed Republic 2809 again, just on a hunch.
Lieutenant Ibarra speaking.
Ibarra? I didn't dial you, Ibarra.
What?
This is Marlowe.
Well, you got me anyway. Now, listen, Phil, I hear you're on that Veneta case.
Yeah.
If it'll help you any, the coroner says definitely he died of a heart attack. No homicide involved.
Thanks, Lieutenant. Hey, but look, where are you now?
In a flat on the corner of Union and 59th Street. Why?
Well, is that phone number there, Republic 2809?
Well, that's a great piece of deduction. You just called it.
Ibarra, listen, I found that number at Veneta's place this afternoon. What's going on down there?
There's a girl here named Betty Larson.
Yeah, she's a nurse, right?
No, wrong, Phil. She's a corpse.
Oh.
Before that, she was a waitress. Just a waitress. Somebody came to her door and killed her for no apparent reason whatsoever.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, Jack Benny will be along on CBS tomorrow night with one of his funniest shows ever. In addition to his regular hecklers, Dennis, Don, Phil, Mary, and Rochester, Claudette Colbert and Vincent Price will pay a call on Jack. And with Don Wilson still wanting a raise in pay, and with Jack still trying to starve him into talking terms, you're sure to find the situations full of the hilarity and fast-moving fun that have made CBS's Jack Benny Show the top-rating comedy of all. Yes, remember, CBS also means Catch Benny Sundays. Now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Long Rope.
It was 40 minutes of thick stop-and-go traffic from the time I quit talking to Ibarra until I pulled up near the 4 stories of faded, sagging tenement on the corner of Union and 59th. But even then, the crazy question that had been weaving in and out of my mind like a 2 a.m. drunk looking for the way to go home was still with me. Why was the telephone number Republic 2809 bracketed by a couple of dead people who, as far as I could see, should have had nothing to do with each other in the first place? And right there, for the 10th time running, I drew a complete and unabridged blank. But a minute later, when I climbed out of my coupe and over the bumpers of the half-dozen squad cars that were jammed into the narrow street like so many toy autos that a kid had forgotten about, I quit asking myself riddles and started looking for Detective Lieutenant Ibarra, a quiet man who always preferred fact to fancy. I found him in a cheap but clean uniform-crowded room on the second floor, standing a few feet away from the body of Betty Larson, a girl in a bathrobe who had once been something pretty in her early 20s.
Well, Phil, the coroner says she was shot twice in the chest at close range, died instantly.
Is that where she fell, Lieutenant, there near the door?
Yeah, looks like she'd just gotten home and into her robe and someone she didn't know knocked on the door. The safety chain was still on when we got here, and the windows lead no place.
Those chains let a door open just wide enough for the barrel of a gun, is that it?
Yeah, but how does all this add with those missing pearls and the rest of that business over on Adams, Marlowe?
Not like 2 and 2, believe me. So far, Ibarra, the only question is the telephone number. Tell me, where did this Betty Larson work?
Well, we haven't gotten that far yet.
So long, Lieutenant.
Yeah, so long. Right now, we only know that she was a waitress who stayed here with her brother, who was some kind of a student. They got along pretty well together. She was single, too. Lived here since... Oh, wait a minute. Tiny Bar. Oh, yeah, Mooney. Ryan's Cafe, huh? Ryan himself runs it. Okay. I'll check it personally, right?
Hey, is that where she worked, Ibarra, Ryan's Cafe?
Yeah, but it's funny, Phil. She lived here since early 1947. And Mooney tells me she worked that 24-hour hash house just as long, yet it's way over on the other side of town in Western.
Western and where, Ibarra?
The 2300 block. Should be near Washington.
Washington, which is only 1 block from Adams, and that starts to close the big circle.
What do you mean, Marlowe?
Well, that the Veneta place is on Adams near Western. Look, Ibarra, how about letting me huddle over a cup of Ryan's coffee before the law steps in, huh?
Oh, I got a hunch you want to check, Phil?
Yeah, that and a cash register receipt. What do you say?
All right, but play it close, fellow. Ryan probably doesn't know about this yet.
No? Unless, of course, he squeezed the trigger. Goodbye, Ibarra. was a half hour getting over to Ryan's Cafe on Western, which turned out to be a lot of steamed-over plate glass bragging about a 40-cent hot roast beef sandwich in 2-foot-high white chalk letters. And inside, the motif was the same. Everything that Mr. Ryan sold was a bargain. I slid onto a shaky stool opposite a cash customer who was something dirty in a torn overcoat buried deep in a handicapper's sheet and coffee. He looked up once, grinned no teeth at me, then hollered for Ryan in the kitchen, who said that he only had 2 hands and would be out in a minute. But before those 60 seconds ran out, I looked around, and over in a corner, in a collection of trash piled next to a broom, I saw a very welcome piece of paper. It was a brother of the cash register receipt that I'd found on Sidney Vanetta's desk, the one that had tied Betty Lawson's murder onto the rope of pearls. I turned back to the counter just as Ryan started toward me. He was a little bigger and a little better looking than the average ape, and on his right arm, under thick, coarse black hair that was long enough to braid, there was a tattoo of a dancing girl who, if Ryan ever shaved about his wrist, would freeze to death.
What'll it be, mister? Coffee?
Yeah, and a little information. You know Sidney Vanetta, Ryan?
That screwball with a bump ticker over on Adams? Yeah, I know him. Why? What's up?
His time on Earth, for one thing, he's dead.
Too bad. Should have taken it easier. Cream?
No. Pearls.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Ryan, who brought that tray up to the Vanetta place this afternoon?
I did.
Sure it wasn't Betty Lawson?
I'm positive. None of the girls would go near that place. Vanetta was hard to get along with. Now you tell me something. What are you, mister? Newshound, collection man, or cop?
Getting warm, Ryan. I'm a private detective named Marlowe.
I'm thrilled. Good night.
Before I finish my coffee?
Before I throw you out. I don't like too many questions.
Not even easy ones, huh? Like who murdered Betty Lawson?
Betty's dead?
Yeah. Over in her flat on 59th Street, shot twice with a .32. When'd you last see her, Ryan?
Why, a couple of hours ago when she quit for the night. Marlowe, the cops got any idea who did it?
I don't know. Right now they're looking for a boyfriend.
You're crazy. Betty didn't have a boyfriend.
Outside of you?
Outside of me. So I'm going over to straighten them out now. Mitchie! Mitchie!
Yeah?
Get out here and take over.
Okay.
I gotta move fast.
No, you don't, Ryan. Betty's dead, remember?
Yeah, but whoever did it ain't. Now, don't try to stop me, Marlowe. You'll get hurt.
Look, Ryan, why don't you play smart and... what's the use? Go on, start running. You won't get very far. For the first time that night, I felt sure of what I was saying. Because even as Ryan had squared himself away to play bounce the private detective, I suddenly noticed a friendly face working hard over a stale donut at the far end of the counter. It was Lieutenant Ibarra. And when Ryan tossed his apron aside, grabbed at his coat, and slammed out the front door, Ibarra turned and nodded at a short man nearby who was idly picking his teeth with the end of a book of matches. At that, the man dropped the matches into his pocket and left. Then Ibarra moved over to me.
Didn't mean to crowd you here, Phil, but after you left, we found out that Ryan and Betty Larson used to see quite a bit of each other.
Don't apologize, Ibarra. Probably would have cost me a couple of front teeth if I hadn't noticed you.
Warm up your coffee, mister?
Yeah, please. You, Ibarra?
No, Phil, I gotta move now. You see, I don't think Ryan did this. I told Mooney to follow him, but not to pick him up. The chances are good that Ryan's heading straight for Betty's apartment to demand that the police find out who killed his girl, so I'm going the other way, to Ryan's house. There may be another woman in this. Jealous one.
But no rope of pearls, huh?
No, Marlowe, I don't think so. Good night now.
Night, Lieutenant. Well, Mitzi, how long have you worked here?
A couple of days. But I don't know nothing about Mr. Ryan. I'm a married woman, and Hey, what do you think you're staring at, mister?
Maybe something wonderful, Mitzi. Tell me, baby, do you always wear that kind of a uniform when you're working here?
Sure. Ryan says this girl should look neat and clean. It helps business. Anything wrong with that?
No. Matter of fact, it might be just the lead I'm after.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and if I'm right, baby, the rest of this case will be a cinch. So good night and thanks. You've been a big help, sweetheart. When I got back to the corner of Union and 59th, I took the stairs up to Betty Lawson's flat 2 at a time, crossed the fingers on both hands, and prayed that Ibarra was right about Ryan returning to his girl's place. When I stepped into the room a second later, I knew that I'd never doubt the good lieutenant again because standing next to an open window and staring out at nothing was Ryan himself, numbed and red-eyed. I asked him one question, And although his answer was only a couple of words mumbled between trembling lips, it was all I had to know. Now everything. Betty Larsen's murder, the death of Vanetta, the guy with the forehead and the missing pearls, the whole shebang was starting to fall together. Oh, come on, baby. Be home, please.
Hello?
Marlowe, Vivian. Look, honey, I want you to do me a favor. Get hold of Steve Temple and meet me over at your uncle's place on Adams as soon as possible. I need your help. Goodbye.
Well, Marlowe, what took you so long? I understood you needed our help and in a hurry at that.
I had quite a way to come, Temple. Is Vivian here?
Yes, Marlowe, Vivian's here, and that means that we can stop counting noses. Now, why do you need our help?
Catch someone who stole once and murdered twice?
Murdered twice?
That's right. You know, it's my guess that whoever stole that rope of pearls also moved Vanetta's medicine out of reach when his heart started skipping beats.
Can you prove that?
No, I can't. But it doesn't matter, really, because the guilty one also killed a party named Larsen. And when you pay for one, Vivian, you paid for them all.
I don't follow you, Marlowe. Who are you talking about?
I'm not sure, but this much is certain. Vanetta called me at 5. When I got here at 6, he was already dead and the pearls were gone. Now, I figure that whoever took them argued with him first, which makes that person, 1, somebody who knew Vanetta, and 2, responsible for the old man's death.
Then the new nurse couldn't possibly have been the one who stole the pearls.
No, but the new nurse could have been the one who overheard everything while standing right here.
Haven't you been able to find this nurse?
No, not yet. But sooner or later, honey, I'm sure we'll catch up to him.
Him?
Yes, Temple, I said him. Nurse Larsen is a male with a lot of forehead and few ethics. The person you killed was a Sister Betty, a waitress. And don't move, Temple, or I'll be glad that I was forced to put holes in you.
Temple's the one? He stole the rope of pearls?
Yeah. But this Nurse Larsen who saw him do it got in touch with him, right, Temple?
It was filthy blackmail.
Which you were going to stop by a filthier murder, and you almost did. Because somehow or other you got the right room in the right house on Union and 59th, but the wrong party. Isn't that about it, Temple?
Yes, Marlowe. That's about it.
Oh, leave me alone, Temple.
Now, Marlowe, you don't shoot me without going through Vivian first. Dear Vivian, Sidney's precious niece was going to have the pearls all to herself. Don't move, Marlowe. It'll cost Vivian her life if you do.
I doubt that very much, Temple.
Larsen.
That's right. Joe Larsen, forehead and all. Now, you, Temple, step away from that girl or I'll tear you to pieces.
No, Larsen, no. Now, we can still do business like you said in that note you sent me. I'll split with you.
Shut up. You forget 2 things, Temple. First, you tried to kill me. And second, you did kill my sister. Now, why don't you run for it? Or are you afraid? Which is it? Come on, Temple, talk.
I am afraid.
Well, Marlowe, that just about winds things up.
Yep. Joe Larsen sent up for attempted extortion, and Temple...
Sent up for good.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Marlowe, when you called a while ago and said that you wanted Temple and me to help you, did you know then that Temple was the murderer?
No, I didn't, Vivian. Then I only knew that whoever had killed Betty Larsen had mistaken her for the new nurse, and that the actual nurse was Betty's brother, Joe.
Where'd you get hold of that, Phil?
Well, it started in Ryan's Cafe, Barra, just after you left. I had nurses on the brain, I guess. And when I took a good look at the waitress there, I suddenly realized that her white uniform, white shoes, and white cap could easily confuse a guy like Temple, who also had nurses on the brain.
Well, I can see a killer making a mistake about appearances, all right, but I still don't understand how it is that the telephone number of my uncle's nurse turned out to be Betty's apartment.
Because a nurse did live there, honey. Betty's brother was a medical student, part-time male nurse, and full-time bum. You see, Ryan, who brought food to Uncle Sidney, knew that he needed a new nurse, and he sold him on the idea of Joe Larsen, because he wanted his girlfriend's brother to have a job.
Oh, I get it. Say, I know what I'm going to do with those pearls.
Sell them?
To the highest bidder.
Oh, no, I'm going to break up that set.
Break up the set?
Yeah, I'd like very much to get a pair of earrings out of them. Oh, and for each of you, a set of cufflinks. Good night, gentlemen.
When Vivian got into her car, aimed it toward a collection of chipped rocks on Fountain near Bronson, and waved goodbye, it was nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. No. After I said so long to Ibarra and started back to my apartment on Franklin, An idea hit me for the first time. A pearl is the result of the irritation of an oyster, a disease. And when you string a lot of diseases together, the result is frequently a plague. But it's from plagues like that I make a living. That's what I get for reading books. I wonder if I'll ever go any place where I can wear pearl cufflinks.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, stars Gerald Mohr and is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Junius Matthews, Louis Van Ruten, Fay Baker, David Ellis, Lillian Baeff, and Ed Begley. Lieutenant Detective Ibarra is played by Jeff Corey. The special music is by Richard Orant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
A corpse that wouldn't stay dead, a pistol with a silencer on it, and a fortune in a black satchel spelled death for the big city boys when they finally got together in Lonesome, Arizona. Population 802.
Stars light, stars bright, and that's no optical illusion. The brilliant gleaming list of stars on CBS tomorrow night. Van Johnson's the star on the Prudential Hour drama. Spike Jones will positively appear in a sketch getting the war paint off Bob Hope's latest movie. Jack Benny will have Claudette Colbert and Vincent Price as his special guests. Amos and Andy, Dashiell Hammett, Sam Spade, and Lum and Abner are the next bright stars in line. Then Helen Hayes, First Lady of the Stage, starring on her Sunday night Electric Theater, followed by Hollywood's own Eve Arden in the wonderfully comic series Our Miss Brooks. In the next to closing, another bright comedy, Life with Luigi, and the whole star lineup, topped off by the world's most brilliant addlepates, the experts on It Pays to Be Ignorant. Jack Benny's program will come to you over all of these same stations, and the others in this vast array of stars will be heard over most of them. Top writers, top directors, and top stars of American show business come to you on CBS. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately. This is Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
I was hired to find a blackmailer, and I did. But first I found a badly beaten Adonis, a Jezebel with an accent, and a man who had been an easy mark for murder.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. And now, with Gerald Mohr starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Easy Mark.
I'd spent a dull day on a duller subject, which was don't get caught with your income tax return down at midnight, March 15th. And after calling time for a thick steak designated to bolster the stamina of a private detective, but nevertheless non-deductible, I reluctantly headed back to my office where I found both my conscience and the long form 1040 still waiting, which meant there was no way out. The dull day was going to stretch on into the night, but then I got a break, because my telephone rang and the call was from one Mrs. Corey Gilbert, a prospective client who wanted action in a hurry.
Marlowe, you've got to move fast. I just found out that my husband, Ross, will be at 3806 Melrose Avenue in 20 minutes, and I know that means trouble.
Well, just for size, Mrs. Gilbert, how do you spell trouble?
With a capital B, as in blackmail. There's no time for details now. Just get to that address and find out who Ross is meeting with. Only hurry, Marlowe, please.
Well, hurry after what, Mrs. Gilbert? I've never met your husband, remember?
Oh, yes. Well, he's tall, dark eyes, dark hair, very handsome.
And the blackmailer, short, stocky, and repulsive, I suppose.
I've never seen the blackmailer.
All right, Mrs. Gilbert, where can I reach you?
Well, I live at 439.5 Ogden Drive. The phone number is Gladstone 8195.
8195. All right, Mrs. Gilbert, I'll call you.
Thanks. Oh, and Marlowe.
Yeah?
Hurry, will you? You see, I love my husband.
I was a little more than 20 minutes finding the address on Melrose. But when I finally pulled up and parked away from the place, I figured being late didn't matter because number 3806 turned out to be an unfinished house set deep in an acre of building materials. I was about to head for a telephone and get an explanation from a confused lady named Corey Gilbert when a lot of noise from what would someday be a living room changed my mind. Then I knew that my client had the right address after all, because there in the pale light of a slice of moon, taking the last of an awful beating from a thin man with a thick beard and a lot of muscle, was Ross Gilbert. Dark eyes and dark hair, like she said, but no longer very handsome.
Don't hit me again. Stop worrying, Gilbert. I'm almost through with you except for this. A present from Nanette. And just one more from Nanette.
That last punch stacked Ross Gilbert onto a pile of rough lumber like he was another 1x12. And as he slowly scraped to the floor unconscious, Thick Beard dusted himself off lightly, jerked at his tie, and stepped out of the opening reserved for a future front door. I started over to help Ross Gilbert, but then I remembered that my client wanted to know who her husband was meeting and why, not how hard or fast he could swing. So I decided for the time being to play it quiet. When Thickbeard got into his car, I got into mine. I followed him all the way to Beverly Hills, where he pulled to a stop in front of the Camden Arms Court. I parked, lights out, and watched him strut up a flagstone walk and knock on the door of a bungalow number 4, which was dark. When he knocked again and it stayed dark, he took an envelope out of his pocket, wrote something on it, and jammed it into the mailbox. Then he got back into his car and started away fast. I walked up to the bungalow and helped myself to Thickbeard's empty envelope. On one side, scrawled in pencil and smudged, was the telephone number Sunset 31676. On the other, payment delivered okay, Plummer. Plummer, huh? I shoved the message into my pocket, struck a match, and started looking for a name on the front door. But then a cab pulled up, and a moment later I had help.
I can be of some assistance, perhaps?
Yes, I was just... Oh. Nanette?
Oui. Nanette Lamarck. But I do not know you, monsieur.
No, you don't.
I think if you will stop staring and begin talking, we will do much better. Who are you?
Philip Marlowe. A friend of Plummer's. He asked me to deliver a message for him. Do I go on?
Of course, Mr. Marlowe. But please come inside. It is so much nicer there.
Nanette was so right about it being nicer inside. There were lights. And that made it easier to see that the lady with the thick French accent and the gorgeous waistline was something that could have mustered her own foreign legion. She was narrow green eyes and open red lips, topped by a lot of close-cropped, soft brown curls that kept running into each other. And for a dress, she was wearing about 1/4 mile of draped chiffon that, in the right places, fitted a little closer than her own skin. When I told her what I claimed had been a message from Plummer himself, she purred her thanks and started to mix me a drink. When I brought up the subject of blackmail, she stopped abruptly, spilling a bottle of perfectly good Kentucky Tavern all over the table.
Blackmail? What do you mean, Marlowe?
Extortion, honey. The malpractice of getting a lot for knowing a little that's not nice.
You're swinging wild now, mon cher.
Maybe. But if it doesn't bother you, I'll stay right with it. Because I'd like to know why you and Plummer, who have such an easy mark, insist on throwing rocks.
What easy mark are you talking about?
A tall, dark, and used to be handsome guy named Ross Gilbert.
Ross? Soda, Marlowe?
Yeah. But don't make it too sweet, honey. I can't take it that way.
Nanette will be very careful not to make it too sweet. There. Tell me, mon cher, when did you last see Plummer? Before tonight, I mean.
I'm not sure. I think it was at the fights over at the Legion Stadium last week. Now, do I get my drink?
Oui, mon cher. You will get your drink in your face, liar.
Tell me, Frenchie. Is that pearl handle 32 considered the very latest along the Champs-Élysées?
You have lied to me, mon ami. You see, Plummer only arrived in Los Angeles the day before yesterday, for the first time in his life.
All right, I made a mistake about seeing Plummer at the fights last week. Now, why don't you put away the gun and we'll talk about Ross Gilbert?
Ross Gilbert is a man I hate with all my heart. A man I could kill right this minute. And that, Marlowe, goes for anyone connected with him. So now get out.
Oh, without even so much as an au revoir?
I reserve au revoir for my friends, Marlowe. Good night.
Hello?
Marlowe, Mrs. Gilbert, is Ross all right?
Ross isn't here, Marlowe. What happened to him?
He ran into an ugly beating at that address on Melrose. And something nasty from out of town named Plummer is responsible. Ever hear of him and/or an imported Jezebel called Nanette Lamarck?
No, I haven't. But what about Ross? What's wrong with him?
Nothing that a pound of beefsteak and enough liniment can't cure. But before we worry about Ross, Mrs. Gilbert, one more thing. It's a phone number I found on the back of an envelope that belonged to Plummer. Number is Sunset 31676.
What?
Somebody you know?
Yes, someone I know very well. It's the telephone number of my ex-husband, Emery Marsh.
Emery Marsh, huh? Fancy dress designer on Wilshire?
That's right. But what's he got to do with all this? Emery only met Ross once in Mexico, a party at Ensenada.
Yeah, well, look, Mrs. Gilbert, why don't we postpone collecting Ross until I find out a little more? Where does your ex-husband Marsh live?
In Santa Monica. But there's a good chance that he's still at his place on Wilshire. He does most of his work at night.
Well, then Wilshire Boulevard's my next stop. I'll try to make it a quick one. Goodbye. Emery Marsh's place on Wilshire was an expensive shop with a single velvet-lined show window that was home for a beautiful mannequin wearing an evening gown that would drop at the first sneeze. And after I spent 5 minutes thumping on a plush, leather-upholstered portal, a light finally clicked on someplace inside. And a moment later, Emery Marsh opened the door. He was tall, 45, sandy-haired, and looked less like a dress designer than I did. So after following his tweet back into an inner sanctum that was combed plywood behind Chinese modern furniture, I decided to play it almost straight.
Now, Mr. Marlowe, what can I do for you?
Well, it's a little too early to tell. I'm a private detective, Mr. Marsh, and I'm working for your ex-wife, Corey Gilbert.
Corey?
Mm-hmm.
Is she in trouble, Mr. Marlowe?
No, we're close to it. Tell me, Mr. Marsh, when you were last over to Nanette Lamarck's place at Camden Arms, when was that?
Nanette Lamarck?
Yeah.
I've never heard of her.
Nor a man named Plummer?
Nor a man named Plummer. Who are they?
Well, in the order I tossed them out, a mademoiselle with a touchy temper and a thug who needs a shave.
I don't understand. How do they concern me?
Well, maybe they don't. But your telephone number turned up on Plummer. Both Plummer and Nanette are tied on to a man who at this moment is probably picking himself up off the floor of an unfinished house at 3806 Melrose Avenue. His name, Mr. Marsh, is Ross Gilbert.
Gilbert?
Yes, that's right. What do you know about him?
Well, very little. I only met him once at the Riviera Pacifico.
Riviera Pacifico?
The hotel at Ensenada in Mexico. Matter of fact, it was the same night that he met Corey.
Which didn't make you very happy, huh?
No, you've got it wrong. Corey and I were already divorced. The three of us meeting was nothing more than an accident.
Oh. And when Ross and Corey parlayed that accident into marriage, were you still smiling?
Better than that, Mr. Marlowe. When that happened a month ago, I was grinning. You see, until then, I had been paying Corey $1,200 a month alimony for 2.5 years.
And Corey gave all that up for love and Ross Gilbert, huh?
Ross Gilbert isn't exactly a pauper, Mr. Marlowe.
No, I guess not. Blackmailing a pauper doesn't add up.
What did you say, Mr. Marlowe?
I said putting the bite on somebody who has nothing is like sucking a lollipop with a cellophane on it. You get action but no results, you see?
Oh.
Now tell me, why does the word blackmail come home to roost, Mr. Marsh? You wouldn't happen to know who the guilty party is, would you?
No, Mr. Marlowe. And what's more, if I did, I certainly wouldn't keep that sort of thing to myself.
Oh, no, I don't think you would. Well, thanks anyway, Mr. Marsh. You've been a big help.
I'm glad. And if I can be of any further help, don't hesitate to call on me, Mr. Marlowe. Please.
Oh, I won't, Mr. Marsh. You can depend on it. All the way from Wilshire Boulevard to Mrs. Gilbert's place on Ogden Drive, I kept wondering who wanted how much out of Ross Gilbert and why. About 20 minutes later, when I pulled up in front of the house, I started concentrating on my client, who had to be the woman standing next to a green coupe in the driveway and waiting in double time.
Corey Gilbert was long, flowing blonde hair draped over shoulders that at the moment looked like they were carrying the weight of the world. But she was prettier worried than most women who always keep it gay.
Mr. Marlowe?
Yeah, Mrs. Gilbert?
Yes.
Your husband shown up yet?
No. Marlowe, what do you suppose
Take
has
it easy.
happened?
Maybe we better have another look at 3806 Melrose Avenue, huh?
Whatever you say. Shall I drive?
If you've got a license.
Yes, Mr. Marlowe. I've got a license.
Well, okay, let's go. The way we took off in Corey's Nash, I wasn't sure whether her license was for driving a car or an airplane. And while she kept at 83.5 AAA on the accelerator, she talked about her husband and why she was worried. By the time we were near the place, I knew all about the party in Ensenada, their whirlwind courtship, and what a fine guy Ross Gilbert was. When we got out of the car and started over the last 100 yards toward the unfinished house, I'd learned everything Corey knew about the blackmail angle, which wasn't very much.
It started last week, Marlowe, when we got back from our honeymoon. Ross wasn't himself at all. He was worried. He forgot how to laugh. He argued with me over any and everything.
Where does the blackmail come in?
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me what was wrong. Then this evening, just before I called you, I overheard him talking on the telephone. That's when I caught the word blackmail and this address.
Now, maybe Ross will be able to fill in a few of the blanks for us. Oh, he was over here in this room on a pile of lumber when I...
Ross!
Yeah, Plumber must have done a lot more damage than I figured.
Ross! Ross!
Take it easy, baby.
Marlowe, what is it? Is he...
I'm afraid he is, Corey.
That man! He beat him to death!
No, Corey, that round hole in Gilbert's chest wasn't made by a fist. From where I stand, it looks like a .32 caliber bullet.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, for some new wrinkles in the mystery field, look on the face of Mr. Jack Benny, eminent producer of the mystery comedy The Lucky Stiff, which opened in New York today. Although Mr. Benny's stars are Dorothy Mohr, Claire Trevor, and Brian Donlevy, Jack's face is covered with new wrinkles because he couldn't be in New York to sell the tickets himself. He's remaining in Hollywood to appear tomorrow night on CBS on The Jack Benny Show with Mary Livingston, Don Wilson, Dennis Day, Phil Harris, and Rochester. So be sure to listen. And now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Easy Mark.
Corey Gilbert's face went sickly white, and her mouth twisted on the brink of hysteria as she stared at the dead man. I turned her away from it and led her to a window. She did the fastest job of pulling us off together I'd ever seen. And I went back to the body. On the way, I noticed a folded scrap of paper on the floor. It was a page torn out of a desk diary, but all that was written on it was the address of the unfinished house we were in. I looked down at what had once been Ross Gilbert. Setup didn't make any sense. A victim of blackmail had been beaten up by a total stranger, and then, a little while later, murdered. Somebody had killed the goose that was laying the golden eggs, and it didn't figure in any direction. Well, I just about decided to go through his pockets when a sound from Corey changed my mind.
Marlowe, come here, quick.
What is it, Corey?
There's someone out there. I saw a shadow move.
Get away from the window.
Marlowe, there, running. Why, it's a woman.
Yeah, and quite a woman. What do you know?
She's crossing the street now. Who is it, Marlowe? Who is she?
Character as French as Milani's 1890. Only she's more like nitric acid than salad dressing, Corey. Her name is Nanette Lamarck.
She's getting in that car. Aren't you going to stop her?
No. I've got a line on Miss Lamarck. I can find her.
But she was hiding here. She could be the one who shot Ross, couldn't she?
Easily. In fact, right now, she's the odds-on favorite. But she's also cagey, and we'll have better luck if we get her on home ground where she'll talk. Besides, there's a big chunk of this business that doesn't follow.
What do you mean?
Well, look, the murder came out in reverse. Ross was paying off. So he should have been the killer instead of the corpse. Which means there's more than blackmail involved.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is he's dead, and that woman killed him.
Maybe. Come on, Corey, let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Well, first you take me back to my car, and then I got a job for you to do.
What kind of a job?
Well, I found this page ripped out of a desk diary, probably Ross's. I want you to go through all his things and find that diary for me. There might be something else in it that'll give us a connection.
All right.
Where are you going?
Gonna pay a call on Nanette. Only this time I'm bringing my own welcome mat. I think I'll need it. After Corey dropped me off, I called Lieutenant Ibarra at Homicide, reported the body, and then I got into my own car and drove out to Beverly Hills again, to the Camden Arms Court. Nanette's bungalow had lights on. I parked down the street and made tracks back through the landscaping to a side window. Nanette was playing pin-up girl on the arm of a divan, as she watched someone pace back and forth across the room. When I got close enough to hear what was being said, that someone turned out to be Corey Gilbert's first husband, Emery Marsh.
Like chickens with their heads off. So Ross Gilbert was shot to death. But I've got to know the truth about one thing, Miss Lamarck. My entire life's work is at stake. Can't you understand?
All right, Monsieur Marsh. Do not break out into tears, I will tell you. Plummer is merely a private investigator I hired to locate Ross Gilbert for me. Now, are you happy?
No. Why did such a person have my telephone number? That's what I want to know. I'll be ruined if I'm involved in this mess. My reputation means everything to my business, and, well, things aren't going too well just now. If I'm connected with a scandal, I'll be wiped out.
Well, stop worrying. I saw you with Ross Gilbert 3 or 4 times before he disappeared. So I gave your name to Plummer as a possible lead to Ross. That is all.
Why did you want to find Ross Gilbert?
That, mon ami, is none of your business. You found out what you wanted, so good night.
All right. I'll go. But can I count on you to keep my name out of this?
Listen, I am counting on me to keep my own name out of it. And I will be very busy doing that. Good night.
I plastered myself up against the side of the house and watched Emery Marsh leave. He looked anything but happy over the result of his interview with Nanette, but I figured I had the benefit of experience to work with and less to lose than he had. So I waited until he was out of sight, and then I stepped up to the door, braced myself, and tried my luck.
You again.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you.
Get your foot out of my door. Oh, get out of here. Get out.
Not until we've had a nice, quiet chat, Nanette, and I think we'll take up where Emery Marsh left off.
What? Look, just who exactly are you, Marlowe?
Your boy Plummer and I are distant fraternity brothers, but there the similarity ends.
Just another chief private detective.
Oh! Okay, baby, if that tough stuff's the only language you understand, we'll talk that.
Don't stop it. Leave me alone.
Now get over there. Sit down.
Oh, you ape.
I'd be nice to me if I were you, Nanette. Because I just love to see a rope around that lovely neck of yours. And what's more, I can almost put one there. You're in a mess right up to your accent. So start making answers beautiful and keep them straight. First, why did you put Plummer on Ross Gilbert's trail?
Because he double-crossed me, that is why.
Double-crossed you how?
He ran away from me. He was mine, all bought and paid for, you understand?
Not exactly.
When I met him, he was flat broke. I bought him every decent stitch of clothes that he had. Gave him everything he needed to be a gentleman because we were going to be married. And then he ran out on me and took everything with him that he could lay his hands on.
Go on.
Nobody does that to Nanette Lamarck. Nobody.
So you hired that licensed thug Plummer to find him and beat him half to death, right?
Exactly.
Well, go ahead, baby. The story doesn't end there. Tell me the rest, the good part. About how you waited until Plummer got through with him, and then you went down to that unfinished blueprint out of House and Gardens and killed him.
No, that is not true. I did not do that. Why, I could not.
It's no bigger lie than the rest of it. Where's that pearl-handled 32 of yours, Nanette? And don't reach for it. Just tell me.
What do you want with
I
me?
want to see if it's been fired. Now, where is it?
Call it, Jack.
Oh, fine.
Plummer.
Miss Lamarck might not like for you to see her gun.
Oh, I thought you would never get here.
Who's this character, Miss Lamarck?
Another private detective. Marlowe by name.
No kidding. Well, we got a lot in common, haven't we, Jack?
Yes. We've each got 2 arms and 2 legs. And the name is Phil.
Oh, that's the way it is, huh? Well, listen, Jack. You got no business here in the first place. For 2 cents, I'll chop you down.
You're even cheaper than I figured.
Why,
and you
you
can put
big-
away that big, nasty gun, too, because I got you cold. That envelope you stuck in Nanette's mailbox tonight had a slip of paper inside from one of your old clients.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Can't you guess? Hey, you want to see it?
Well, yeah, let's have a look at that.
Okay. Take a good look. Come on, drop the gun, Plummer. Come on, drop it. My arm! All right, now, fold up. There's your bargain basement detective, Nanette. You didn't get your money's worth, did you? Now, shall we take a look at that pearl-handled gun of yours?
It is over there in my bag.
Thanks. Clip's full, and that smell sure isn't gunpowder.
Of course not. I did not kill Ross. Why, I was not even inside of that building where he was.
Yeah, I know, but you... Wait a minute. Say that again.
I said I was never inside that unfinished house where he was found. When I drove up, you were already there, so I left.
Yeah, I know. And Plummer's gun is... fully loaded. Hasn't been fired either. Baby, you've just given me a great idea.
An idea? But I do not understand.
Never mind, I'll explain it to you later. And incidentally, you better be around. Right now, I've got to find out one more thing, and then maybe I'll pop this whole shebang wide open.
Mr. Marlowe.
Good evening, Mr. Marsh. Lucky to find you still working, huh?
Late hours are a habit with me these days. Come in.
Thanks. Mr. Marsh, I've come back for that help you offered me earlier this evening.
I see. Well, the offer's still good.
Fine. I think your ex-wife, Corey, is lying to me. She claims you didn't know Ross Gilbert, that you only met him once at that party in Ensenada, but you did know him, didn't you?
Why, yes. As a matter of fact, I did get acquainted with Ross slightly. We had dinner together a few times.
Uh-huh. And you really did favor his marriage to Corey because it freed you automatically from that alimony load you were carrying.
That's correct, Marlowe, but I don't
And it's
see...
also correct, isn't it, that you couldn't afford to go to court to have your alimony reduced because that would let your snobbish clientele know you were going on the rocks.
Yes, that's also true.
And maybe it's true that you actually engineered the marriage and it backfired on you.
Very smart, Mr. Marlowe. Just keep your hands at your side. This might go off.
Yes. Well, I expected a reaction, but not quite so soon.
Too bad. I'll trouble you for your gun, now that you've got it all figured out. Yes, Marlowe, I engineered that marriage. Corey was attracted to Gilbert, but he was broke. I knew that would scare Corey off if she found out.
So you and Corey made a deal, particularly with Ross. He wanted to marry Corey. You supplied the cash for his courtship, right?
Yes, only he wouldn't stop there. He kept demanding more.
Sure, that figured from the start. Ross wasn't being blackmailed. He was the blackmailer himself, and that made you worse off than before, so you killed him.
You're so right, Mr. Marlowe. And remember, the price for 2 murders is the same as for 1. So you've really left me no alternative.
I'll give you an alternative, Emery.
Corey!
One thing you didn't count on. I really loved Ross Gilbert.
Well, I guess that winds it up, Corey. Emery's in the hospital, and Nanette and Plummer are both in the clink.
Too bad I only hit Emery in the hand. I never could trust my aim. It's always been bad, in a lot of ways.
It was good enough tonight, baby. Lucky for me you showed up when you did. Say, what made you come to Marsh's place, anyway?
Well, that page from the desk diary paid off, Marlowe. Only we made a mistake.
No?
It didn't come from Ross's diary. It came from Emery's. I finally remembered his handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you tell me something, Marlowe.
Yeah?
How did you know Emery was guilty?
Oh. Well, he made the oldest slip in the book. When he was talking to Nanette, I overheard him say that Ross had been shot. Emery had no way of knowing that Gilbert was dead or how he'd been killed unless Nanette told him. And for a while, I thought she had, but then I found out that she couldn't have because she'd never been inside the house where we found Ross.
So it had to be Emery.
Sure.
I see. Well, Marlowe, what does a gal say at the end of a night like this? Thanks or something?
Just thanks will be enough. I gotta do my income tax. Can I give you a lift?
No, I'll walk a while. I've got some thinking to do about marksmanship. But call me sometime later on, will you? Just to see if I'm shooting in the right direction.
You can count on it, Corey.
Thanks. Good night, Phil.
I watched her for a moment as she walked down the street all by herself, deep in her own thoughts, and it looked to me like she was playing it strictly square. I almost wanted to follow her. The first time in a long time, I felt like I wanted to get to know a client better. But March 15th can slip up awfully fast, and that long Form 1040 was still unfinished and waiting for me in my office. So I decided to go back and work on my income tax and play it strictly square, too. After all, that's really the easiest way in the long run. Yeah, I keep telling myself.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, stars Gerald Mohr, and is produced by Norman MacDonald. The script by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt was directed by Ralph Rose. Featured in the cast were Sylvia Sims, Lorette Filbrandt, Ken Harvey, and Paul Duboff. The special music was by Richard O'Runt. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
There was a man with a bad heart, a telephone number scribbled on a cash register receipt, and a corpse on the other side of town. But I couldn't see the connection between them until I realized they were all tied together by the same long rope, worth $30,000.
Next Wednesday evening, February 2nd, CBS will bring you a moving, powerful drama of a reporter who took an assignment he eagerly sought, only to find it came too close to home. Its title is Mind in the Shadow. Its star is Eddie Albert, and its story tells how the reporter set out to reveal the shocking facts about our mental hospitals, and then learned that his lovely young wife might have to enter one. Based on actual documentary evidence of conditions existing today, you'll find Mind in the Shadow, a revealing story of something which could happen to you. Hear Mind in the Shadow, starring Eddie Albert, next Wednesday evening, over most of these same CBS network stations. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, Jack Benny's new address, Sunday night on CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
A startled corpse, a blue-eyed woman, and a cryptic message scrawled by a dying man, with the pieces of a Chinese puzzle that wouldn't fit together, until I found out what was deadly about the orange dog.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character as CBS presents The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. And now, with Gerald Mohr, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Orange Dog.
By 6 in the evening of a very slow day, I'd resigned myself to the business of no business. So I took my feet down from my desk, switched off the lights, and started out the door for home with the prospect of a nice, quiet evening ahead of me. But I didn't make it, even as far as the door. Oh. Hello, Philip Marlowe.
Marlowe, my name is Shelley Martin. I'm at 8412 Los Feliz, a private residence. I want you to come out here right away. My sister is in a jam, a nasty one.
Well, Miss Martin, as a matter of fact, I was just closing up for the night, and I was...
Look, I need the services of a private detective right now this minute, and I'm prepared to pay for them. There are plenty of others in town. Are you coming or not?
Yeah, okay, and thanks for the reminder. That's me you hear sprinting up your front walk.
That's much better. And Marlowe, bring your brains along. You're going to need them.
And that was the end of my quiet evening. But I just couldn't resist those government engravings of Mr. Lincoln. So I drove down to Weston, turned off on Los Feliz, and found the number 8412. The yard was an overgrown tangle of perennial plants losing their battle with the weeds. It was like a girl in a strapless evening gown with her hair up in curlers. However, I could see a light through the Venetian blinds, and the doorbell worked with a resonant two-tone chime that caused the door to open just far enough to allow a pair of eyes so blue they were almost purple to peek out at me.
Yes, what is it?
I'm delivering that private detective you ordered.
Oh, Marlowe, come in.
Thanks.
Sit down, won't you?
Thanks again. All right, what's the next move?
It's about my kid sister. She's involved with a man named Lou Horner, a San Francisco broker. She's quite deeply involved, I'm afraid.
Oh?
You see, some very strange things are going on, Marlowe, and my sister is a naive kid caught right in the middle of them.
Yeah, I see. What sort of strange things, Miss Martin?
Shelley.
Sweet.
Well, to begin with, when I arrived from San Francisco today, my sister called me and asked me to meet her here in this house. When I got here, the lights were on, the radio was playing, and the front door was open. But the place was deserted.
Whose house is it, Horner's?
No, I think she said it belongs to a friend of his who's in Europe now. This Horner person uses it when he's in Los Angeles.
Well, couldn't they have stepped out for a while?
Mm-mm.
You know, you don't look the type, Shelley, but maybe you're just panicky, huh?
No, I'm not being panicky.
All right. Where's the nasty jam?
Right behind the couch. Take a look.
Okay. But you know, I see what you mean. Who is he, Shelley? How'd he get here?
Maybe it's Horner, I don't know. I tried to search him, but I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wouldn't have helped anyway. Whoever shot him cleaned him out. No wallet, no papers, nothing.
I found this magazine lying under his hand. Look here.
Mm-hmm.
He must have written this just before he died.
Where's that?
Here.
Oh. It says, call Marion tonight about the orange dog of Foe. Orange dog of Foe. For what?
That's why I called you, Phil. Marion is my sister. And whatever the orange dog of Foe is, it must be awfully important. We've got to find out what it means, Phil, for Marion's sake.
So far it means murder, honey, and that's for the cops.
No, Well, all right, call them. But keep Marion's name out of it. A thing like this could destroy her.
But look, maybe she pulled the trigger on our friend here.
Maybe, but I don't think so. She's a sweet kid, Phil. Give her a break. If I'm wrong, I swear I'll help you bring her in myself. Is that fair enough?
Okay, Shelley, it's a deal. It makes just as much sense as the orange dog of Foe, but no more. After I'd checked as far as I could on my client and sent her home, which was to the Villa 12 at the Wilshire Gardens Hotel, I ripped the General Squeegee tire ad with a message scribbled across it out of the magazine, folded it up, and stuck it in my pocket. Next, I called Lieutenant Ibarra at Homicide and told him where I'd found a body, probably named Lou Horner, leaving out all the details about Shelley, Marion, and the orange dog. Then I started out the door, but got back as a shadow slid across the walk. I caught a glimpse of a large, ugly head of long, dirty hair set on a small, ugly body that was moving fast. By the time I got out on the walk, Longhair was already putting mileage on a green coupe with a broken taillight. It winked mockingly as it went out of sight. So I got in my car and headed for New Chinatown. It was the logical place to get some information regarding a Chinese dog. I saw a light filtering through a dingy window, illuminating the words James Tang, dealer in Oriental curios. Inside the musty shop, a little man, dressed in a black kimono, drifted forward, softly.
Yes?
I think perhaps you can help me, huh?
I am honored. To be able to help would bring fragrance of plum blossoms to my nostrils, carpet of rose petals to my humble floor, and 1,000 blessings upon my head.
Oh, that's very pretty. Tell me, what is the dog of Foe?
The dog of Foe? Why, this fantastic creature here is called the dog of Foe. His fierce eyes and snarling mouth are to frighten away evil spirits from temples of Buddha.
Why do you say called the dog of Foe?
Amateur collectors and auctioneers have named him that. It sounds exotic to cash customers. Actually, he is a lion. The lion of Korea.
I see. Tang, would you happen to have an orange dog of Foe?
Very strange that you should ask that, my friend.
Strange? Why?
Reason number one. There is no authentic orange dog of Foe.
That's a good reason. Why not?
Because to Buddhists, orange is color of sorrow. The piece you speak of could not possibly be authentic.
What's reason number two?
You are second person to inquire after this non-existent orange dog of Foe within the last few minutes.
Was it an ugly little man with long hair?
Quite contrary. It was a very pretty girl with short hair.
Was her name Marion?
She made point of not leaving her name.
Well, that proves something.
However, my friend, old Chinese proverb, loosely translated, says a little knowledge is the instrument of a fool.
There were 9 other curio shops in the neighborhood, so I started making the rounds for the non-existent orange dog of Foe and a girl who was interested in one. From the first 3 shops, I got a fast horse laugh and the fact that the girl was still ahead of me. The next 2 netted an insult apiece and a total blank on the dame. And from the 6th, called Saxon's, a glossy, well-ordered place on West 7th Street, the only effect was a coldly curious raised eyebrow. The man in front of me, whom I took to be Mr. Saxon himself, was a gaunt, white Russian with a high, naked head the color of warm paraffin. His slender fingers played nervously with each other as we talked.
The Orange Dog of Four. Yes, I have heard of such a piece, I think. It would be porcelain.
Probably. This is your business. Who has it, Mr. Saxon? Can you tell me?
No, I'm sorry. I believe I heard this orange dog mentioned just once, somewhere down in the village. But I'm sure I could never remember who spoke of it or when.
Oh, no idea of its value then, huh?
Now that you mention it, I seem to remember the figure 20,000.
You mean yen? How much in American money?
I am speaking of American money. It would be an importation from China, you know.
How could it be worth that much? It's not even authentic, Mr. Saxon.
Authentic? You seem to know a good deal more than I about this orange dog. Possibly one would have to see it to appreciate its value.
Yeah. Tell me, has a girl been in here tonight looking for this orange dog?
A girl? I know.
Know anybody named Marion?
Marion. No, there is no one in my acquaintance by that name. But why do you ask?
Because Marion has quite an interest in the orange dog. I have a feeling they'd make a great team if we could get them together.
I see. And what is your name, sir?
It's not Fu Manchu, Mr. Saxon. Good night. Saxon's expression didn't change. I turned and walked out of the place, and then because, with both of us using double talk, the conversation was bound to deteriorate. At least I had found out that the orange dog of foe existed and was going for a very high figure, especially for a phony. And it didn't take an abacus to figure out that Saxon knew more than he told me. Well, I started up the sidewalk to the next bric-a-brac emporium when I saw something parked on the side street which brought me to a halt. It was that green coupe with the broken tail light. I went over to it, found it empty, and stuck my head inside to check the registration card for Longhair's real name. Yeah, it was a very foolish move because Longhair at that very moment prodded my kidney with the muzzle of a .38. And neither he nor the gun had a sense of humor.
All right, Mr. Wise Guy, come on, walk. You and me are going up the alley here.
What's the matter? Don't you feel at home in the light?
Shut up. I don't like it much anyway, so you better ease off with the smart Sands. Okay, that was far enough. Well, Mr. Wise Guy, did you find what you're looking for?
You mean the orange dog, Shorty? The answer's no.
The orange dog. So that's where the plates are.
What plates?
You're working for Horner. You don't know what plates.
Look, chum, when you get your next haircut, have your brains dusted off. Nobody works for Horner anymore. Horner's dead.
Dead? Since when?
What's the surprise act for? You saw the body. You were sneaking around that house on Los Feliz. In fact, you might have killed Horner yourself.
That body wasn't Horner. Why, Horner is 3 times the size of that guy in Los Feliz. He's bald. Also, he's so dumb he can't remember his own phone number. Oh, hold it.
I'm looking for Vera Street where they sell those enchiladas. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I don't want to intrude.
Hey, quiet. I'll blow your brains out. All right, now, come on, Mr. Wise Guy. Tell me what Horner's got on his mind. You know all right. I saw you taking orders from his girl.
You mean Shelley Martin?
Who else?
Thought maybe you meant Marion.
Marion? Who's Marion?
Shelley Martin's sister. And don't let it worry you. Marion's got the orange dog eating out of her hand.
I don't say. It ain't funny, mister. It's just peculiar. Because Shelley Martin don't have a sister, I know. So it seems like you're a very mixed-up character. In fact, Mr. Wise Guy, you're so mixed up, you're no good to me at all. So get over there with the rest of that.
I took my time getting up. The dirty, long-haired little man was gone, and my head ached from the rap he'd given me with the pistol barrel. And I was disgusted with myself. Dry, dirty, disgusted like a drunk at sunrise because a nasty little jerk with an oversized head and a blue-eyed dynamo with auburn hair had me jumping through hoops like a trained ape. I stood in the alley and swore at myself until the futility of that routine dawned on me. Then I decided to go hunting. But I made one stop first at a telephone to at least get Ibarra off my conscience.
Lieutenant Ibarra.
Hello, Lieutenant. I just found out that body on Los Feliz isn't Horner.
I knew that an hour ago.
Huh?
The body isn't Horner's, and Horner is no broke. He's a counterfeiter, a big one.
Oh.
The dead man was a treasury agent named Slade who was closing in on Horner. So if you've got anything you haven't told, Phil, you better get it off your chest.
At this point, it's a pleasure. Girl named Shelley Martin's calling the signals about now, and she can be found at Villa 12, Wilshire Gardens Hotel. Yeah, hurry. You'll just about meet me there, Ibarra.
Now, wait. Suppose you go alone and find out what you can first.
That's a switch.
I'll follow in half an hour. Let's not freeze her up, Marlowe. Let's keep her talking, okay?
Okay, Ibarra. That's easy for her. She's got a forked tongue. Only this time it's going to wag strictly on the straight and narrow, I guarantee it.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of the adventures of Philip Marlowe. But first, it's no mystery that hunger and cold confront many families abroad this winter. CARE will help feed and clothe these needy people. CARE, the safe, sure, non-profit way to send supplies to Europe and Asia. A check to CARE for $10 will send a 21.5-pound, 41,000-calorie food package, or a baby food package, or a layette, or a baby blanket package, or material for clothing. CARE guarantees delivery. You get a signed receipt that your package has reached its destination. Write your check tonight. Mail it first thing in the morning to CARE, C-A-R-E, 50 Broad Street, New York City. And now, with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Orange Dog.
Pointed my car toward the Wilshire Gardens, and a beautiful liar named Shelley Martin, I was sure of two things. The plates that Long-Hair had wisecracked about just before he piled me into a row of garbage cans were the engraved kind that counterfeiters use to make money the easy way. And second, both Long-Hair and Lou Horner were racing for the plates as well as the Orange Dog, which could be one and the same thing. But 20 minutes later, as I pulled up near Villa 12, which was strips of yellow light and raised voices drifting out of half-open Venetian blinds, I forgot about the gentleman involved and concentrated on a lady who didn't have a sister called Marion. I went around to the back of the villa where I found the service door unlocked and the kitchen beyond dark. And when I entered and quietly moved to a spot near the living room where I could see Shelley snapping at a pompous, excitable man with a red face,
All right,
I figured that a little eavesdropping might pay
where I
off.
belong. I'm here in Los Angeles. Is there anything wrong with that, Mr. Horner?
Yes, everything. Why, I wouldn't even have known you were in town if I hadn't gone back to the place in Los Feliz where I saw you and some man having a delightful little chit-chat over the body of that T-man.
Treasury man?
Yes.
Is that who he was?
A meddlesome fool I caught snooping through my papers.
Then you killed him, Lou.
Of course I killed him. I had to. Now stop asking questions and get out of here. Because this is business, not pleasure, Shelley. And that leaves no room for you.
Or Marion?
What do you know about Marion?
Not enough. But what I do know, I don't like. Look, Lou, who is Marion, and what does she mean to you?
Marion means money to me, Shelley. Nothing more. So just leave me alone here so that I can make a call according to schedule.
A call about... Lou.
What's the matter, Shelley?
Behind you, Lou. They're in the garden. Lou!
The bullet crashed through a closed window, didn't stop until it got to Horner, who grabbed at his chest and dropped to the floor even before the glass quit flying. And by the time I got outside to where the shot had come from, I found nothing but a little wind rustling a lot of trees. When I got back to Shelley and the blood over tweed on the carpet, Horner was already dead.
Marlowe, the man out there was Henry Peel.
Peel? Something in long hair and dirty clothes?
Yes, I met him in Horner's office once. Lou said he was a broker from Chicago.
Come on, both Peel and Horner are counterfeiters.
What? Lou, a counterfeiter?
That's right. Never mind the carefully arched eyebrows, honey. They mean nothing.
But, Marlowe, I swear I never knew that Horner was anything but a broker.
A broker maltreating poor sister Marion? You're a liar, Shelley.
About Marion, yes. I haven't even got a sister. But from there on out, I'm telling the truth, Phil.
Then tell some more and fast.
All right, here it is. Lou Horner's been my boyfriend.
And, checkbook?
For the past year and a half. But about a month ago, he suddenly stopped being very attentive. And I couldn't figure out why.
So you decided to keep your big blue eyes wide open, huh?
Exactly. And it paid off. Because I found out that, 1, he had taken better than $20,000 out of his bank account. 2, that he was coming down here to Los Angeles.
And 3, that an item named Marion might be beating your time.
Yes. And that part of it upset me plenty. Until 10 minutes ago. But then I found out that Horner here was a murderer, and that, Marlowe, I don't buy.
3 cheers for the all-American girl.
Oh, skip it, Marlowe. I'll live my way, you live yours.
Don't worry, honey. Nobody wants to change places with you. Hey, look. Why does Horner wear a little rubber band on his little finger, do you know?
Oh, he had a bad memory. Used every kind of gadget in the books to keep himself from forgetting things, especially numbers.
Yeah.
Well, for example, that rubber band might mean 10 o'clock.
How do you figure?
Like 5 and 5. The fingers on each hand reading from left to right. He used things like that.
No. Wait a minute.
Hmm?
Horner was going to make a call to Marion just now, and the message the T-man left was...
Call Marion tonight
about the orange dog of Foe. Shelley, baby, where's your phone? Fast. Come on, it's 10:15 already.
Well, it's out there in the hall, Marlowe.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
A line, honey, a line on your ex-sister, Marion.
This is Mr. Saxon.
Ah. Lou Horner, Mr. Saxon. I know I'm some 15 minutes late with this call, but I'd still like to see you about the orange dog of Foe.
Certainly, Mr. Horner. The orange dog is here, waiting for you.
Good. I'll be right over.
Marlowe, who is Mr. Saxon?
A man very close to a lot of trouble, Shelley. Now, look, you wait right here for the law, and in particular, one Lieutenant Ibarra. Tell him nothing but the truth about Horner and what he meant to you in dollars and cents, and you may be all right.
But where are you going, Marlowe?
To a curio shop on West 7th Street to see, among other things, the orange dog of Foe.
You are the Mr. Horner who called?
Yeah. Also the one who was here this afternoon, you remember?
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't call you at 10, Mr. Saxon, according to schedule. I hope it hasn't inconvenienced you.
No, that's quite all right, Mr. Horner. One moment, sir.
What's the matter? Is anything wrong tonight? Seem on edge, Mr. Saxon.
I am. So please, Mr. Horner, don't make a single stupid move.
What? Wait a minute. Why the gun, Mr. Saxon? I promised not to bite the orange dog.
You won't even touch the orange dog. Now, who are you?
Oh, we've been all through that. I'm Horner, Saxon. Lou Horner of San Francisco.
No, you're not. Horner would have had no reason to wander around curio shops as you did this afternoon, asking any and everybody about the orange dog. Now, once more, who are you, and where is the real Lou Horner?
All right, we'll take them in that order. I'm a private detective named Philip Marlowe, and Lou Horner's a corpse. But also, I'm a good friend of yours, Saxon, because I'm going to give you a little bit of advice for free. Call it quits, Buster. You're licked.
What are you talking about, Marlowe?
A T for Treasury man named Slade. Before he died, Saxon, he talked.
I see.
Yeah, and believe me, he said enough to put you away till orange dogs are as popular as lifesavers. And what do you say, Saxon? Do we play it smart?
Very well, Marlowe. We will play it smart. My kind of smart. Now, turn around and walk through that curtain there. I want to show you something.
Orange dog, maybe?
Yes. The orange dog of Foe. I want you to see it for yourself before you die.
Saxon said die like it already happened. And after he relieved me of the comforting bulge of the gun in my pocket and marched me to a large, windowless room that was a little darker than the lining of an 8-ball, he told me to stand very still. Then he turned on a single lamp that rested on a large, scarred table, and next to it an ordinary shipping crate and cushioned on all sides by white wrapping paper. I finally saw the orange dog of Foe. It was a porcelain lion, pop-eyed, majestic in a crazy way. And also it was colored orange, bright and clear. But now that I'd seen it, I knew that the next move was Saxon's. I turned to face him. It was then that I noticed the black curtain behind him moved slightly. And Longhair quietly stepped into the room. This Mr. Saxon did not know about.
Well, Marlowe, now that you have seen the orange dog for your first and last time, what do you think of it?
He thinks it's just Jim Dandy, mister. Now drop your gun before I blow the top of your head off. Go on, drop it. It's better. Now sit down there and stay put. You, Marlowe, get across the room.
Okay. Thanks for showing up, Peel, before Saxon here ran out of small jokes.
Don't kid yourself, Marlowe. I didn't just show up. I've been right behind you all the way. That's how I work.
So what do you want, Peel?
A couple of very fine engraved plates that I've been after for 6 months now.
Plates which could be in the orange dog of Foe?
No place else but. Or do you think that maybe the late Mr. Horner wanted as an ornament?
But that's all it is. There are no plates in the orange dog. It is only a collector's item.
And you're a liar, Saxon. And I know the best way to prove that. Marlowe, pick that thing up and toss it against the wall.
No, don't. I tell you, there's nothing in it.
Toss it, Marlowe. Go on.
Okay, Peel.
Now we'll see who's right about the plates being hit?
Nothing, huh, Peel?
Nah. Nothing. All right, Saxon, get up. I want to know what a plates are, so I'm going to count to 3. That's how long you have to live if you don't tell me.
No. Peel, believe me, there are no plates.
1, 2.
Hold it, Peel. Wait. Here are the plates. Here. In this jeweled box. Look, right here, under your nose.
Is he out, Marlowe?
Yeah, he's out all right. He took the light with him, too. Is there another lamp in here?
No, there isn't. Nor is there another gun.
Why, you stinking little... Wait a minute. Those sirens, Saxon, they're heading this way.
Police?
Yeah, the police. Looks like sooner or later everybody gets together in the back room at Saxon's,
But not everybody stays here, so I'll take this wrapping paper and leave now.
Wrapping paper? The stuff that was around the orange dog?
Yes, a sample of the best grade of counterfeiting paper made, Marlowe. And that's what Horner was supposed to buy, not plates. Those he got a month ago.
Still makes you a crook, Saxon, and one who'll never get past the front door.
Oh, no, we'll see about that. Marlowe!
Keep shooting, Saxon, in the dark. You got 4 shots left.
You filthy murderer!
Only 1 now, Saxon. That's number 6. You're through, Saxon. By the time Ibarra and his boys, plus a half a dozen very anxious team men, got into the room, Saxon was already coming apart at the seams. But after a half hour of steady questioning, he split wide open and led us all to a basement hideout where the team men went wild over a few thousand sheets of A1 counterfeiting paper. But an hour later, after Peel, who admitted murdering Lou Horner, and Saxon, who was ready for the nearest straitjacket, were both in the lockup, there was still the problem of the glib lass from San Francisco. But finally, when Shelley, Lieutenant Ibarra, and I stood under the green light of the globe in front of police headquarters, I knew that the girl who technically was only guilty of withholding information from the police was not going to spend any time in the pokey. Because, after all, I was more or less guilty of the same thing. Besides, Lieutenant Ibarra was still interested in the others.
Well, Marlowe, it looks like the whole business actually boils down to a single transaction between Clay Saxon, who had the counterfeiting paper, and Lou Horner, who was supposed to buy it.
That's right, Ibarra. But Horner, who must have made his contact with Saxon via some middleman in San Francisco, only had a telephone number and the password, the orange dog of foe, to work on here in L.A.
But how'd you get hold of that number, Phil?
From the message the T-Man left before he died.
You mean you actually called someone named Marion?
No, honey, I just dialed Marion. M.A. Madison. R-I-O-N 7466. Madison 7466. You get it?
Yeah. Another one of Horner's screwy memory tricks, like the rubber band on his 10th finger.
Hey, that's pretty good, Phil.
Oh, it's an old gimmick, really. I read it in a dozen detective stories.
What do you know? Maybe I ought to read some of those. Well, good night, Philip. Look for you tomorrow.
Good night, Lieutenant. Well, Shelley, do I show you the way home?
No, Marla. Aren't you hungry or thirsty or something?
Yeah, guess I am at that.
Well, I know just the place for us, darling.
Oh?
It's a cute little place right smack in the middle of Chinatown.
Well, we got through a small Chinese dinner without seeing or hearing from a single orange dog. And when it came time to leave, I was thinking that Shelley wasn't really too bad a kid at that. So when she left the table to powder her nose, I started to make plans. But when she got back, I forgot about them because in the meantime, she'd run into an old friend. Yeah, a rich old friend who was all alone in the big city. I said I didn't mind taking a rain check when she explained that he was from Kansas City and a broker at that. He certainly was overweight. Too much steak and potatoes. Steak and potatoes. Wonder if Lindy's is still open.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, stars Gerald Mohr, and is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Dinelli, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt.
Featured in the cast were Francis Robinson, Edgar Barrier, Tony Barrett, Lou Krugman, and Ed Begley. Lieutenant Detective Ibarra is played by Jeff Corey. The special music was by Richard Orant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
I was hired to find a blackmailer, and I did. But first I found a badly beaten Adonis, a Jezebel with an accent, and a man who had been an easy mark for murder.
90 minutes of unsurpassed comedy comes to you every Sunday night when CBS brings you The Spike Jones Show, The Jack Benny Show, and Amos and Andy in succession. Tomorrow night, pianist Alec Templeton and songstress Peggy Mann are Spike Jones' special guests. Jack Benny and his gang and Amos and Andy, following in succession, will bring you more of the laughs that make them first for Sunday night fun. Spike Jones and Amos and Andy come to you over most of these same CBS network stations, and Jack Benny comes to you over them all. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.